Yo, 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 yo! Welcome to a very, very bright garage here now at my house. I have 10, count them, 10 Honeywell LED lights, these 4-foot lights. I don't know if you see them in the light, hanging in there. They're all daisy chained together. I love these things. You can buy them at Sam's Club for $27 each. So I went a little crazy and I got 10 of these bad boys. I need to light up the garage a heck of a lot more. I like the fact on these especially that I can daisy chain them together, but two, they can easily come out of the ceiling and I can take them with me when we decide to leave or anything like that. They're not permanent, which is beautiful for me because I don't spend all that money for nothing and then I just take it with me. You know what I mean? It's lovely. So I hope everybody's having a great weekend. I didn't get to record any videos this entire last 3 days. It's either been rainy or very, very cloudy, and I do apologize. I was actually going to test out Turtle Wax's new, where is that here? The ceramic spray stuff, which I got to test in Arizona. This stuff is freaking phenomenal. This was actually going to be tested on my wife's minivan, but with it rainy and cloudy every single day, the last 3 or 4 days have been cloudy and rainy, that I wasn't able to do. As a matter of fact, I have the garage door shut because it's like 52 degrees outside right here in Central Florida. 52 degrees. It has dropped significantly. So I just haven't done much because of this damn cold front that came through. But I think next week, of course, it'll be 70s and 80s again and sunny, but she'll have the minivan at work, so I'll be screwed again. So just want to let you guys know what went on. That's why I didn't get one out yesterday, yesterday. And hopefully you guys like that full Friday. A lot of people were asking about that. I knew it wasn't going to work. They told us it wasn't going to work, and that the car wash stuff here would not work in the foam cannon. But that didn't matter. We're going to try it anyways, right? And we had a lot of fun while we tried it. And that's basically what matters. In the end, on this channel, I'm not here trying to be a professional detailer. I'm not trying to be the next 200,000 subscriber guy. I just want to have fun when I want to make these videos. So that's why I do it, and I hope everybody likes the channel because of that. How is everybody doing? Let me go and say hey to everybody right there. Hey, Mitchell, Anthony, Frankie, hey, at work, Dalton, David, Miranda, what's up, buddy? Ken, stay frosty. 52 as a cold wimp. I've been in negative 20 something many times, okay? So don't sweat it. But for Florida right now, it actually is kind of chilly being in like 52. Remember, we have humidity. Humidity makes a huge difference in the cold weather. So what this feels like is when I go to Illinois and to go visit my dad in Illinois and it's like 30 degrees outside, this is what it feels like here with humidity. So trust me, I know what it's like. I've been in a lot of snow. I've been in snow waist deep up in Alaska. I know what the cold is like, so don't want to hear that. Florida isn't cold. Don't hear it, because even my grandma would come down and she's like, man, it's cold here. Yeah, it is. I'm actually excited to use the washing wax. I think you're going to like it if you're using it for what it's meant for, as kind of like a booster wax and stuff like that. For me personally, I like the other stuffs a lot better. But hey, to each their own, and that's what's great about this world. Everybody's different, and I love that kind of thing about it. What's up, Illinois? Yeah, buddy. Champaign, Illinois. Champaign, Reese. Brian, what's up, Betty? 91 here in SoCal tomorrow. Yeah, I think by the middle or end of the week, it's supposed to be like 83, 84 degrees again here in Florida. So it's not going to last. It usually doesn't in Central Florida. Usually it's a couple days and then it goes back up. But I'm wearing jeans actually right now. The only other time I wear jeans is when I ride one of my motorcycles. So other than that, you won't ever catch me wearing jeans for the most part here. Let's see. Like the new light setup. Yeah, it's so freaking bright in here. So I got, like I said, again, I got 10 of these LED lights. And the cool thing is they all hook together. So they daisy chain just like Christmas lights. So it works out great. Easy to install. You just unhook them from the ceiling and take them down with you when you decide to move or whatever. So that's generally what I really like about these. They were only $27 a piece, and it was worth every penny. Because my God, is the garage lit up now, and I love it. I'm glad lights are done. Yeah, dude, it really looks good. It's very bright in here now. I really do like that. Peoria. All right, I know exactly where you're at. 60 degrees in Miami. I know it's got really cold, didn't it, Frosty? It's crazy. Glad to see you posting. Yeah, Ian, I needed a break, you know. I still regular work every single day of the week for a regular shipping company, shipping giant, and I still have to work that main job every single day. I was on vacation this week, as a matter of fact. Normally we go on cruises about every 2 or 3 months. You guys know we go on a lot of cruises, but due to the fact that we had that $11,000 air conditioning replacement, and then when they got up there, they found out the roof had holes in it. So we had another $4,000 and change in fixing that part of the roof. We just said, screw it. 15 grand now in debt. It was like, yeah, we can't spend money on cruises. So basically, that's the only reason we didn't go on one. But check it out. Look what Mr. Greg finally sent me after like 3 years of sending me products. He finally sent me a banner. The cool thing about the banner is it actually, I don't know if you guys are going to read it up here. It's very small writing, but basically it's a personal message from Greg, and that's really cool that he took the time to send it to me. So big shout out to Greg Masterson for hooking me up with it. I really do appreciate it. One of these times I'm going to get a nice close picture. The thing is, it's way up near next to the ceiling, so I have to get a ladder in order to actually take a good quality picture of the message he sent. But big shout out to Greg Masterson for hooking me up with that. I really do appreciate it. You know me, guys. I love the banners. I love to hang them up around the garage. I still have one more I got to hang out from Detail Ground, which is the local high-end detailing company here in Orlando. So I'll definitely be hanging that up soon. But at least I got Matt Gregg's up there. What's up, Jacob? How you doing, man? Donald McGuire's hyper dressing. What water-based dressing do you recommend? High glass, long-lasting. Honestly, I'll tell you right now, the longest-lasting stuff I always find is either going to be gels or the creams. So I'll give you an idea of just because it's something I have really close. Like this is the Masterson's Trim and Tire Shine. This is exactly like Chemical Guys VRP. Is like these cream-based stuff right here. They always tend to last me about 2 to 3 weeks. Very in top 3 weeks. Usually a good solid 2 weeks. Anything from like your Grillo's Garage gel, your McGuire's gel, it lasts me 2 weeks. I like those kind of things. When it comes to if you want the highest shine, I'm always going to go with the aerosol. It doesn't matter what it is. McGuire's Ultimate Tire Shine, which used to be dubbed Tire Shine. I know it was. Some of those other kinds of things like Grillo's Garage aerosol. If I want the brightest, wettest look, that's what I always personally go with. So I do hope that helps you out. It's just going to depend on your taste because some people don't like a high shine. Some people like a high shine. So thankfully, there's so many companies out there that make multiple products for you guys who like the different changes. Greg, the Snake Charmer. Yo, what did I miss? Hey, Jet, what's going on, Bentley? Not too much, man. We just got hanging in here. We're just starting out. I was showing out how bright it is. Hopefully it shows up good. I mean, I'm using my cell phone. You guys all know that when I'm hanging out here on the live stream. I just do this cell phone. We're hanging out in the garage. Garage door is shut because it's like 52 or 50 degrees right now here in Central Florida. So I'm just leaving the garage door shut. But it is so bright in here, and I love it. It's like I feel like I can detail with ease, whether it's daytime or nighttime. Now I got so much stuff. I even cleaned up a lot of the garage, got rid of a lot of crap that was piled on the side. I really took advantage of this week. I even did a lot of pilots training study this whole week, like doing a lot of the computer quizzes and tests. I was spending a lot of time on that because I'm like, I've just got to get my pilot's license done. I'm almost done with it. I've just been slacking, trying to get the written test done, and I just need to put it down and knock it out. You know what I mean? Once it's done, it's done. So no more screw around. What's up, Jay? From San Antonio. Have you done it? Yeah, I have. Go ahead, Stay Frosty. Go ahead and check that sucker out. It's probably about 2 or 3 years old now, but yeah, I did a long time ago. Again, I'm telling you from what I've personally tried this stuff as and see how long it lasts me. One thing you'll find with a lot of us YouTubers is we're going to give you the instant right now, what it is right now. The problem is, what is it like 1 week, 2 weeks, or when it comes to waxes and sealants, the 1 month, 2 months, 3 months down the road. A very good example of that, let's just say the chemical snake charm, is this stuff right here. Let me show it to you guys. So a lot of people hyped the crap out of this, right? This came out earlier this year, the Hydro Charge. When I first tested on the Prelude, it was stellar. It was absolutely stellar. I was like, man, this is really good. Chemical Guys put a good product out, and I gave it a high review. But when it came time for longevity, it only lasted me a week, and then I put it on again. I'm like, well, maybe I'm wrong. It lasted me a week and a half the second time. This is nothing but snake oil, okay? It lasted me for a week, but it's $39. So that's where I get to the point when I come time for my reviews, I'm going to give you guys a here and now review, and then I try and follow it up with later on down the road updates. And that's when this showed through how cheap it really was and when it wouldn't last more than a week here in Florida sun. And that's what I get talking about, where I'll give you a good review now, but once over time, I can then tell you how long it really lasted, because I personally use this stuff and I wanted to see what it would actually do. If I would tell everybody and their brother, stay clear of that product, because it didn't last more than that. And that's what made me mad about it. But hey, you know, they got how many of us that probably buy 10, 20, 30,000 people that bought it at $39. I mean, they're probably like, cha-ching, cha-ching, because nobody saw it. And that's why I put the reviews later on down the road of how long it actually lasted. And those reviews got a decent amount of views, but if I can help just one person save $39 and steer them in the clear of a different product that lasts way longer, I think I've done my service. You know what I mean? So I really want to give people the best true results I can when I make these videos. I'm not here to blow up. I'm not here to be 200,000 subscribers. I'm here to give you guys an honest and true opinion of one man's view and show them why I like it and why I don't. And I was really upset about that product. Have you tried the Turtle Wax Carnauba Cleaner Wax? Carnauba Cleaner Wax. Are you talking about like this stuff, or are you talking about like the new stuff? Like this stuff, ceramic, polished and wax? No, I haven't tried this yet. I was going to rent a vehicle this week, but the fact is I saw it was going to be nasty and rainy and then just cloudy all weekend. And I'm like, I'm not spending the money doing this to show you guys something that's going to be terrible. Now that I have enough lighting in here, maybe I can start doing that stuff where whether the clouds or not, I can actually show you a true result. I mean, I have swirl finder lights and everything But to me, I like to show you out there in the sun where you can see true world results, because cameras they are not like the human eye, okay? When you roll a car out there in the cloud day, it looks perfect. Once the sun hits it though, you're like, ooh, look at those swirls. And you guys probably know exactly what I mean. And that's why I always try and make my videos on a sunny day, or at least a mostly sunny day when I make videos. You'll never see me make videos on a cloudy days because it always looks crap in the video. And I just don't want that. Superior coverall is a favorite once you figure out the sling problem. Dub Tire Sean was a tough favorite, still available at Acc0rd. Good. What up, Alpha? How you doing, man? Hey, when are you going to be a pilot? Hopefully soon. Jasquar, what's up, buddy? Are you going to Grizz Garage new ceramic? I don't know, AJ. I mean, right now it seems like it's the big rush from every single company out there, if I'm feeling right, that everybody and their brother wants to put a ceramic stuff out there, and everybody's now throwing their 2020 products out early. I really think that goes down to Turtle Wax, because Turtle Wax got the jump on everybody. As a matter of fact, I talked to, who was it? One of the reps of Turtle Wax. I've been writing her on it. And basically, Amazon got overwhelmed by how much demand they had. So they're actually backlogged on shipping out their products. I had a couple of my subscribers out there write me. And so I contacted out to Turtle Wax. I'm like, hey, I've got a couple of subscribers complaining that their products that now are supposed to be here this week are now pushed back by 3 weeks. And they said it all went down on Amazon side. They were basically didn't expect that much demand for it, and so now they're backlogged on stuff, which is great. I mean, that's a good, but now it seems like every other company is now just throwing out their 2020 stuff early. Normally they wait till January, maybe December to put it out. Nope, not anymore. And I really think Turtle Wax is really taking the lead on that, and I really appreciate that. And I hope that everybody begins to see that, these guys can really put out if they want to, but they've been limited by the price range for so long. I think they're finally breaking out and saying, you know what, screw you guys, companies. We're going to put out something between $10 to $15, and we're going to blow away the competition. And I want everybody to try it. I think that's why they paid for everybody to go out to, Phoenix to try this stuff out, and because they wanted to get the word out. So if they spent 200 grand, but let's say they moved 200,000 units, well, then they more than paid for the expenses. So to them, it's worth every penny. And I was really surprised by the way they treated us. So it's really cool to see that. What is your goal for your pilot's license? I would like to be full commercial pilot. I would like to fly for like Delta, Southwest, JetBlue one day, maybe 5 years down the road, something like that, and be able to get out of my current job in the shipping industry that I've been at since I was 17 years old, and just have a whole nother career. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people got to go through midlife crisis. It's not that I want to do that. It's just that I've never wanted to do the job I'm in now. It was a job to get me a car in high school, and then I just stayed there, and I never left because the pay and the benefits were too good. So the only reason I would leave my current job would be for essentially a better job. And that's where it gets to the point where I always wanted to be a pilot since I was a little boy, like, 4 or 5 years old, flying all the time. I said I wanted to do it. Now I actually have the financial opportunity to be able to do it, and I'm just running away with it. You know what I mean? And so I'm going to take that chance. I never understood the spray on ceramic sprays. They don't even last. I'll tell you what, the spray on like stuff from CMX, here, I got it right here, just to give you guys a heads up what we're talking about here. This really did last me a very long time. And this is the honest God's truth. This now reminds me a lot about the actual Turtle Wax stuff. This stuff just lasts and lasted and lasted. And I like the fact you could easily layer it. And that's what I did. It was lasted around 5 months before I really started seeing a significant amount of, or it was starting to die. But for a simple, easy spray on, you just unbeaten. It was a little bit expensive at like $17, $18 a bottle, but for just a simple spray on versus hand of applicator wax, or maybe even doing it with a buffer, was just so much nicer, and I like that a lot. What are some of the new products you're looking forward to trying or out reviewing? I've tried out all the Turtle Wax stuff, so I will give you a heads up that if you haven't seen it yet, this is probably a product you want to buy. Longevity now, I do not know, but if it's anything like their Seal and Shine, and they claim it's better than their Seal and Shine, you'll easily get 5 to 6 months out of it, even though on here it says up to 12 months. If I've got 6 months out of it, I think it'll be a great deal. So if you haven't checked out this, do it. Hopefully I can get that review out sometime this week, because I really want to show off how amazing it is and the night and day difference it is. Other products. I see a lot of the mothers, they're having a whole new CMX line coming out. More ceramic stuff. I'm really interested in trying that. Meguiar's, I'll be real with you, Meguiar stuff just seems like it's a new label, new stuff. If you guys haven't seen the new Meguiar stuff, they have a ceramic applicator wax. I wasn't the biggest fan of the spray ceramic wax. I'll show you that again for you guys. So what they did this year is they put this stuff out, okay? The hybrid ceramic wax here. Well, this stuff didn't last me very long. Didn't last me more than about a month and a half here in the Florida heat on my wife's minivan. The sides of the van were fine, but the horizontal surfaces just didn't last me that long. So basically, they have a liquid version of their hybrid ceramic wax. So I don't know about that. And they have a new new updated formula for their spray wax, their spray detailer, and I think it was one other thing. So I don't know. It just didn't seem like they put a lot of effort into new products this year, new innovative ideas. They just seemed like they half-assed it pretty bad this time. But, you know, I'm willing to try it out, but I just want to let you know, everybody know, that's how I felt about it. I'm like, really? Just new and improved formula? I'm like, did you even try and come up with a new design? Just something new, whether it worked or not, just try something new. Wow us. And I just don't, I feel like McGuire's rested on their laurels here when it came to that. I was like, really? It's kind of boring. Dalton, the 225, try the Grills Garage Satin Tire Shine, please. I think I already have. Are you sure I haven't gone back through Dalton? You want to check it out, man. Did you get new lights in your garage? Yes, it's very light if you can't see them all. So I have 10 of these LED lights. They're 4 feet long. They're from Honeywell. You buy them at Sam's Club. They're $27 a piece. And they daisy chain together, as you can see here. So you just have one plug and the rest of them all light up accordingly. So think of it like Christmas lights. And they're perfect because they're easy to take down and remove and take with you if I ever decide to move in the next couple of years, which we're already talking about doing, trying to get out of Kissimmee, Florida. So that's good. So I'm not permanently bolting them in the roof and then saying, screw it, I wasted my money in a couple of years. I can just like take them down and they're gone and they come with me, which I really like that. There's a shortage of pilots. There's a shortage in pilots, period, Frank. Very serious about it. When I was actually originally started training, I was at the Warbird Museum here in Kissimmee, and they have a tail wheel trainer. Well, they actually have a Southwest captain that was in there, and he wanted to get his tail wheel certification so he could fly tail wheel planes as well. And he was telling me when he started just 10 years ago, they wouldn't hire anybody off the street essentially without any previous years of experience, you know, with another company. Southwest just wouldn't do it. Now Southwest is hurting so bad that he is starting to see brand new first officers come from basically right off the street with no experience other than the original 1,500 hours, which is the United States government minimum rules in order to fly commercial, is that you have to have 1,500 flight hours. And they're hiring him straight off the street for that, which is like, wow, that just shows how mad the demand is. Me personally, I'd much rather go into an airline like that immediately because they're all unionized companies. If you don't know about the union, whoever's been there longer gets first bid when it comes time for the better routes. When you're a brand new pilot or like, you know, whatever, you're going to have the worst of the worst, you know, and you have to build up your years of time before you can get to a better route. And essentially, that's what I'd rather go ahead and start out sooner with one of the big airlines and start with the crappy ones and, you know, 3-4 years down the road, then finally get to some of these nice routes that pay higher and that are just nicer family-wise and stuff like that. But either way, at least I'm flying. That's what I really want. And because of that mentality, you have, bros, a reason I subscribe to your channel. I feel like your reviews are detailing products by true, not paid, and I have, nobody's ever paid me, Frankie. You could probably talk to Miranda. I don't know if he's still in here right now. At least nobody's ever paid me. Maybe they're like sliding him some money under the door and I'm like, here's a couple thousand bucks, you know. No, nobody's ever paid me a dime. I do this for fun. I have a lot of companies that do send me products to try. And that's one thing, and that's why I always say that in the videos, like, hey, this company sent it to me for trial, but nobody paid me. Nobody's like sliding money to my PayPal account like, here's $1,000, you better give me a positive review. That doesn't happen. These companies just tell me, say whatever you want, we don't care how you feel about it, and but give us a positive review one way or another. Say like, look, this is what we would like to see changed if you do not like it. So again, like when I gave the review for the hybrid wash on this week when I put it out, I explained why I personally didn't like it. I understood what it's made for, being a wash and wax with the ceramic in it. But personally, that's not the type of car washes that I use, and I explained why I didn't like them. But they knew that already. But I had to put that in the video, and that's what you'll generally see. And that's what these companies, it doesn't matter what company here, that's what they all ask for, just a truthful review. Don't destroy them. Just say, hey, what would you like to see change if you do not like it? And that's all they ask for, and that's what I really like about it. Let's go subscribe knows that 3 of 3 products will send a free bottle of their touchless sealant just by emailing them with the company. It's pretty decent stuff. Yeah, I actually have tons of it. If you guys didn't know, I tried it right at the end of last year. I really liked it. It lasts me about 3 months every time I do appliance on it. Hold on, I got some stuff. I can show you what he's talking about, guys. Here it is right here. So here he's talking about, I've got a couple of bottles of these bad boys still left that they sent me. They're big bottles of touchless sealant. It's really easy on. It lasts me about 3 months before it finally fades. And for what it is, it's actually pretty good. So no complaints there. Is it going to outlast something like Mother CMX or something like that? No. But for what it is, it was like, this is easy, 3 months, done. So you can be almost lazy with these kind of products now that most of these companies are going to that style, and I like that. Hey Chad, my turtle wax steel and ice shine is streaking. What am I doing wrong? Probably applying a little too much. When Turtle Wax first told me that they were making this product, they said it was made with a high amount of carnauba wax. What they were finding is a lot of people were essentially applying too much wax to it, sprays to it. So they were just trying to really get it out there, that they were like just like literally 2 or 3 squirts per, like, let's for the hood, 2 or 3 squirts. Don't go crazy with it, because otherwise you were running into streaking. And they really decided to push that out there because they were having problems as well with it. Since then, from what I understood, they have toned it down a little bit. Maybe not as much high carnauba in it, but they did tone it down some. I would recommend that if you, next time you do it, just maybe 2 squirts per panel max. You don't need more than that, because that's when you're starting to get the streaking issue. It's not like it's going to be bad. There's something wrong with the product. It's just that people were over applying it, and that became an issue for them. So they had to kind of correct that a little bit. But again, you know, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody just doesn't know, and I think that's what they had to change. And they actually listened, and they went back to their formula and changed it a little bit, from what I understood. Hopefully, it does help you out a little bit, because I did talk to them about that as well. You're not the only ones that complain. Don't worry about it. Did you see my donation? Yes, I did, Dalton. Remember, I'm about a minute or two behind, because I try and talk to everybody individually. I want to spend time with my subscribers and just enjoy the evening. So I'm usually, you know, a couple minutes behind when I get to it. So guys, please, if I don't answer your questions right away, please understand that's why. I'm spending time with everybody, just enjoying the evening, and I won't get to you maybe immediately. Turtlex did a recent comparison of the seal and shine versus ceramic in the channel. Nice video. Yeah, I remember back in the day when I first started dealing with them, I'm like, why don't you guys have a YouTube channel? And I don't guess I'm not subscribed to them. And I asked them, I was like, why? And they're like, well, I don't know. I'm like, you guys should be putting out this stuff. McGuire's has it. These other companies have it. Why aren't you doing this? You should really show off the quality for your products and show before and after. And it seems like they really listened, and they took note and are really putting it out. I was in their headquarters, and they have a giant bay that can probably hold, I don't know, 5, 6 cars in it. And the thing is lit up with LEDs everywhere. I mean, it's super bright. That's where they record all their videos for YouTube and stuff like that. And I'm like, why don't you have it yet? So finally, hopefully, it sounds like they listened. Again, I guess I didn't subscribe to their channel. But either way, that's really good to see that. Hey, Chad, best wheel cleaner on the CRTR. Sean, what I have been personally using is the Meguiar's Ultimate Wheel Cleaner. It's somewhere in the garage. For anybody who doesn't know, I think it was it last year they came out with the Ultimate Wheel Cleaner? It's really, really good. It has the iron X in it that removes stuff. I'll show you if I can find it. Here we go. You can see how bright it is inside the garage. It's nuts, isn't it? He's talking about this right here, guys. I use this all the time on all my vehicles. I have gone through probably 4 or 5 bottles of this because I have so many vehicles. That's what I'm always using when it comes to everyday wheel cleaner. It's a stellar product. I've seen people use it on their paint before. If you really want to use it for decontamination, these are what they're using. That's what I've personally been using there. So again, I'm not brand like stuck on one brand company or the other. If I find stuff I like, I'll just keep going with this brand. You know what I mean? For these products until I find something that's better that will take that. And that's generally what happened with my YouTube channel. I did it because I was finding these, because I was just like you guys. I was buying a ton of products, was unsatisfied with some products. I wasn't happy about it. So I just started giving my thoughts and opinions on it. And now where we are now, you know, and that's the way it goes. I wasn't like Miranda and all these guys. I don't know if Miranda's still in here, by the way. Hey, if you're still here, I wasn't actually doing this as a job. I was doing it as a regular dude like you guys are out there and just checking out. And I'm like, this stuff sucks. I hate it. And I was having the same problems you guys were. And I was blowing money like crazy every single week. I go to Walmart and I buy some more products. And I'm like, now I have bottles stacked. And I'm like, why can't we get some good products here that really work? And I just started sharing my results, and that's where we're at. Even had a product that was just so horrible, you just didn't pull up. No, I've always put out videos. That's one thing I do, is I always put out videos because I want everybody out there to understand truly that this product sucks, and I want you to completely stay clear of it, okay? That's the way I feel about it. If I'm spending my money on it and I was just shocked at how piss poor it is, I don't want you guys falling in the same trap I did, so I'll tell you straight up that, hey, it sucks. Don't buy it. Do you think it's changed any of the products that you review? Yes, I honestly do. I've actually had companies, I'll give you an example, okay? So I'm not a biggest fan of Meguiar's hybrid spray ceramic. If for anybody who doesn't know, I've already just said that a few minutes ago. This stuff, I wasn't a big fan of it. That was a pain in the ass to apply. If you follow the rules step by step, which I did in the video, I went step by step, showed the back of the video and went through it. It was a pain in the ass to apply. I didn't like it. Once the original application is on, then you can just spray it on and wash it off. That's fine. That's cool and easy because everybody's starting to do that now. But the original application sucked. And then it didn't last more than a month and a half out here in Florida, maybe 2 months at the very high end of it. And then you had to go respray more. And I'm like, this is $15 and it can't even last a month and a half, 2 months here in the Florida sun. I was like, this is bad. Well, guess what? I had, I know it was, McGuire's had seen my videos. A lot of these companies tell me they watch the videos, and then they won't go out there and say it. They'll tell me, they'll say, hey, we watched all your videos, we watched your reviews on other channels, companies, products. And they came out there and were saying people are applying it wrong and people are doing it wrong. And there's some people out there doing it wrong. And I knew that was directed at me, but I'm like, I just followed the damn instructions. Your crap sucks. If it sucks, it sucks. Their spray-on sealant, I forgot which one it was. It was way better than that, than this hybrid ceramic wax, and it lasted longer. So I don't know. You do get that kind of thing, and that's what you want. I don't care who it is that you watch on YouTube. You want them to take just a pit of everything, notes from everybody, whether they liked it or they didn't like it, and what they'd like to see corrected. And I would hope that I'm just one piece of the pie that hopefully they can learn from and correct. So I don't know. What's up, Chad? What's the new Master Systems banner? David, it is right here, buddy. Right there. So it's pretty high up there. I don't know if you can see. It's right at the top of my ceiling right now. That's kind of put it because I was cutting and running out of room. So I'm like, I got to start going down this wall. Like that's the laundry room right there, how you get into the house, obviously. And then that's like a storage closet. So I put it way up there, and it has a sweet little message from Greg, personal message from Greg, and that's really cool that he took the time to do that. But it's a little too far for you to read it. He just thanked me for all I've done and put out videos and stuff like that, and he signed his name and stuff like that. And he said, "You always have a friend here in California," and that's really cool that you hear, from these people that we deal with, and they'll actually put a note on the banner for me. I really like that. Maybe not everybody likes Masterson stuff. Some of his Masterson products might not be the best products in the world. Now I'll be the first one to admit that. But I like the fact that he'll take the time to listen and talk to you. He spent an hour or so on the phone with me when we first started talking. And he's the nicest guy in the world. He's very hyper and maybe even eccentric, people could say, but it doesn't matter. He's a very nice guy, and that's what I like about it. He just seemed so true, and he was so enthusiastic about detailing, and he just loved what he was doing for a job, and you can't blame a guy for that, and I'd rather have a guy like that than somebody that's just gonna tell me to my face they like me, and then 2 minutes later they hate me. I'd rather have that kind of person. So yeah, big shout out to Greg for that. Too bright, can't see anything. You better put some sunshades on, homeboy. Don't want to hurt your eyes. Agree, Turtle Wax Bat Company of the Decade schooling the current crop on price and durability. Yeah, are you going to reviews? Yes, David, I do have the Legend Paste Wax. As a matter of fact, I've been trying to get a couple of Civic Type R guys to come over to my house, the local ones, and let me use their cars, kind of like a guinea pig cars, and test it on them, but I haven't heard anything back. One guy said he'll let me do it, and then he's always busy doing something every time you contact him. All I know is he works for the government, and he's sometimes in town, sometimes he's not in town. And I said, just let me borrow your car, I'll put it in the garage, and he just doesn't feel comfortable with that. And, that's fine, his own personal car. But I am trying to get some guys to bring their vehicles over, stuff like that we could use as test vehicles, you know what I mean? Best spray wax on Type R to help prolong long shine with the daily Florida. Spray wax. Man, spray waxes are really starting to go the way of the dodo bird, aren't they, guys? Right now, for longevity, I would say definitely Turtle Wax Seal and Shine. That thing's been on the GTR now for months on end. I think I applied one more layer of it. One day I was washing the car. I just went in and sprayed it down. And it's been on the car minimum of 6 months. Yes, it's a garage queen, but my God, if you saw my Instagram video, it just beads and beads and beads, and you're like, oh my God, it's just nuts how much it is. And it's not just me saying it, it's multiple people testing it in real world scenarios, and they're finding the same thing I'm finding. I would definitely say right now, go with the Ice Seal and Shine Sealant. There's nothing that lasts quite as long. Hey, you remember Marcel? I think I remember you. At least I'm pretty sure I do. Apologize if I don't get the right Marcel together. Okay, absolute worst product ever reviewed. Ooh, I would say it would probably be Armor All line of products. Armor All's wash and wipes were horrible. I tried that on the Prelude. I got so much hate on that video. If you guys didn't know, Armor All a couple of years ago made a wash and wipe, waterless wash, but they were wipes. And I said it right before the video started. I'm like, you know what this is going to do? This is going to catch all the grime and junk that's on your paint and then just drag it through the paint. And sure enough, didn't. It caused swirls on the one side of my door. And I literally quit doing it right then and there. I was like, okay, I'm done. But I wanted to show everybody results. Do you know how much hate that video pulled out? But it did pull out a lot of people that saying they totally understood. They did the same thing happen to them, etc. But you get a lot of the fanboys and stuff. Why would anybody fanboy Armor All? I don't know, but a lot of fanboys out there didn't like that too much. But you know what? I'd rather be truthful. And I showed it the results. I called it before it even happened. I'm like, there's dirt on this thing, and there's junk on the paint that as soon as that little white catches it, it's just going to drag it through the paint. And it did, and it swirled out the paint pretty bad on a door. And I did show it. People were like, "Oh, your paint was just in crap range," anyways. But that's probably one of the worst I've ever tried. And I literally didn't throw it away. I just put it on the shelf and I never touched it again. I only did it on one door, and I said I would never use it again. Anytime I find some detailing related on a shelf at Walmart somewhere, I find it interesting. I look it up on YouTube, and a long story short, that's how I found your channel 2 years ago. That's what I do. I specialize in more things that are over the counter. Yes, I get great companies like 3D products and to try stuff on that are like, order online, the high-end detailing and stuff. And maybe some more of the smaller companies like Limitless Car Care or Rev Auto, which put out some very good products. Damn, I love Limitless Car Care. I will tell you the truth. I love that crap. It's stellar. But they're online, and people are very nervous about buying stuff online. But yet they'll go buy a shit ton of stuff on Amazon. Don't ask me why. But they're scared of trying products online. And I'm like, just go buy some stuff online. And they're saying, well, Chad, I'll give you an example. It's only 16-ounce bottle, okay? I can go buy McGuire's for $7. Now, let's just say here, as a matter of fact, here, I'll show you over here. I got some Limitless Car Care right here. I told you I crap everywhere, okay? Limitless Lather. This is probably right at my top favorite car wash of all time. Limitless Lather, Wax Gods, or the Wax Shop. I don't know where the Wax Shop car wash is it? No. This is the Wax Shop, okay, by the way. This was, in fact, the company that came out of California, and I think they were bought up by another company, and that's fine. But they have a car wash from the Wax Shop. It is freaking stellar, okay? But people are scared to buy stuff online. But for the most part, I do stuff over the counter because that's what the average Joe wants. They don't want stuff offline because I don't know why. They're too scared to buy it offline. I don't know. Turtle Wax Ice Shield and Shine Sealant is the best product I've ever used in my use for protecting my paint. Is there anything better? At the moment, longevity-wise and ease, I don't know. Mother CMX is pretty damn good. I love that stuff. Their new Turtle Wax here that I'm going to try this week for you guys. I'm just waiting for a clear and sunny day. It's all I've been waiting on. The whole last 4 days have been nasty through here. This is supposed to be better, and it's supposed to actually last longer than the Seal and Shine, so we're definitely going to give this actually a try here. And we'll let you know. I'd say along that, without going to like a true ceramic coating, then I don't think anything's really going to last as long, or at least it's not going to be as easy to apply as these kind of easy spray-on products that are just like spray on, wipe off, be done. Let it cure for a good 24 hours before you let it get wet, and just have your mind go, you know what I mean? It'll last you 6 months all day long. For you guys up north that don't get all the nasty heat that we get here in Florida, that just bakes away the car and just eats away that the wax and stuff, I bet Sight Seal and Shine will last you even longer than it does here in Florida by 3-4 months. I don't know. That's what I would just figure. Can't wait, man. Have you you can use my Type R one of your videos in West Palm. Well, Mike, Sean, we got to get you to come up here, buddy. I haven't I've tried to get a couple of the guys. One of them's only like 20 minutes away from me. I've asked some guys that are in St. Cloud over here. There's 2 Type R's in St. Cloud, but I haven't heard any response from them. One guy said we could mess with him stuff. He lives about 30 minutes away from me. So we just got to get more guys to come over here. I think it was a week or 2 ago. Everybody was out of town. I was like, hey, I have a Type R car wash at my house. And like only one guy said he would come over. And I'm like, come on, man, what the fuck? This is like a weekend where I'm home alone. I got a pool and everything. Everybody can hang out. But everybody just kind of didn't want to come out. I'm that 12-year-old kid that is in your community. Oh, yeah, I know who you are, Marcel. I was thinking somebody else. I don't know why. Hope all is well. Yeah, Bo, I'm doing pretty good, man. Masterson's company is it true, or are they actually products of their own competition? For what I understand, Tiger, they do not produce in the same place. As a matter of fact, from what he's been telling me, they've actually gotten very pissed at him as of late because I guess Masterson has pulled away some of their distributors around the world away, and they stopped ordering from Chemical Guys and started ordering from Masterson's, and I guess they're almost threatening lawsuit now. So Chemical Guys is not a happy camper about dealing with them, so I highly, highly doubt they don't. From what he tells me is they actually have a big, small warehouse, and they have the big 50-something gallon drums of the product come in, and then they'll spend an entire day just pumping and filling bottles of it in the back warehouse, and that's what they do. So from what I understand, they don't cross-contaminate with each other. It's not like they're bottling in the same place as Masterson's is. He might use the same, science labs or whatever to design exactly what he wants, but I might want more height, more type of wax in one product than this company does. So are we technically the same? No. So, that's just the way it goes. But, I've personally never been this thing. Glock or SIG? I own 5 Glocks and 1 6-hour. My wife actually has a 6-hour. I have 5 Glocks. So Glocks are cheaper and they're easier to work on. SIGs are great, but SIGs are way overpriced. And I think that's what makes the breaks the deal. You know what I mean? What's your thoughts on the 2020 YouTube challenge? If you, I don't know, YouTube rule change. I honestly don't know, Aaron. If it's about the kids one, I know I had to put something on kids. Is my video content kid friendly? I just put no. That way I don't have to deal with anything in case something were to come up. Now, Lord knows I don't do anything that would be offensive in any of my videos, but I don't want to put out a video that would be considered offensive in YouTube's liberal hippie eyes, and they just come down on me like a hammer. So I immediately put no, it wasn't kid friendly. It still leaves you everything monetized and everything like that, so you can make money off your videos, but I didn't want to cross the line of they would consider something bad, because YouTube definitely has changed over the years, if anybody hasn't known. Back in the day when YouTube first came out, was like 2006, you could pretty much put up anything you wanted. No, nothing was regulated. It was awesome. Now YouTube comes down like a freaking freight train on you. If you put out anything that they consider questionable, audio content in it, everything just gets claimed. Sorry, this is not available. You can't put up this. This is considered bad. And things have changed a lot in YouTube. So if you want to play the game, you just got to do it. So that's why I decided to put out, when the questionnaire came that you had to agree to something, I said, no, the channel is not child friendly. So that way I don't have to worry about it ever again. Even though, again, Microsoft's product reviews, but I don't want anything to come of it. And besides, what are kids caring about car detailing stuff? You know what I mean? Kids aren't driving cars. So what do you? Once they get older, it won't matter anyways. You should give Rinseless wash a chance. Yeah, I do have some Rinseless wash from Grio's Garage. I actually, somewhere, it's actually in the closet. I don't remember what it is. I just haven't been able to use it yet. And I think Rinseless wash is more of a pain in the ass for me to use, because you have to have a million microfibers and all this crap. And that's generally why I haven't used it. I would suggest more of a regular waterless wash over that. But that's just me personally. Toronto, what's up, buddy? How you been, man? I've been to Toronto in years. As a matter of fact, my blue Prelude has actually driven all the way up to Toronto before, from Florida, all the way over to wherever I was, like Markham, Ontario or something, and then came all the way around by Fort Drum, New York. Stopped visiting my friend in Fort Drum in the RA base, and then we drove all the way back to Florida. So that thing has been all the way to Canada and back. It won't get you to stick to it, but what are your thoughts on Acc0rd TL Type S? I haven't been a big fan of Acc0rd in many years. I think Acc0rd changed in the early 2000s when they went from naming their cars to trying to be like Euro trash cars. I'm sorry. But I just feel like they all tried to like jump in. We're going to make our stuff letters instead of making it actually names like the Legend or, Vigor or Integra, etc. And they tried to be like all Euro trash, and it didn't work out for them, obviously. And their designs have really went down, and their actual sales are pathetic. I was watching a thing that was recently, as a matter of fact, that you bring this up, that all of Acc0rd cars that they make today, their entire sales lineup doesn't equal what the Honda Civic alone sells every single year. They're that bad off now, where they're barely even in existence anymore in comparison to what they were 20 years ago. Hell, Doug DeMuro did one on the original Acc0rd Legend Coupe, which are gorgeous even to this day, an Acc0rd Legend Coupe. And he talks about how they used to be super cool. They used to win awards left and right, but I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of Acc0rd anymore. I just think they've lost their way, and they need to find it soon, or they're eventually going to go bankrupt, because it'll be pointless, and they'll pull them out of the United States altogether. I just don't see why get one. There's every basic car has more same features on it. You know what I mean? I look at them, I'm like, yuck. There's nothing to it, but. We'll see. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't. Who knows? I mean, Lincoln did. Lincoln came back. Look at Lincoln. Lincoln has their Navigator. They brought back a Continental. They brought back, I think, the Aviator, and they're bringing back. I don't know. I guess there were rumors possibly about a new town car, but they got rid of their stupid letter systems. They went back to what made them great. Now they're booming again. It's like, So hopefully Acc0rd does the same thing. But personally, right now, I'm not a big Acc0rd fan anymore. Would you buy the R34 GTR if they were legal? That is a good question. I really do like them. I think they're really cool. Are they as fast as the R35? Not even close to it. But I do like them. I think for me, maybe if I had the extra cash to blow on it, I would consider it. Maybe sometime down the year when they actually do become legal in another 3 or 4 years. But right now, at the point, I don't think I'll be buying any more vehicles for a little while. YouTube is so bad, a little weak people that need adults around them. It's getting crazy, but you know, if you want to play the game, you know, I like being able to upload the videos. I like being able to communicate with you guys. You guys are awesome. I love being able to, you know, communicate with the companies directly. They will write me privately. They'll connect with me through email, and we get to talk and bounce ideas off each other. I would not have that opportunity without YouTube, and so I wouldn't want to. I don't want to step on anything. You know what I mean? I mean, if they got to the point where it was like, you know, just ridiculous, I think people would start jumping to other forms of YouTube competitor. But right now, there's nothing that can compete with YouTube right now. It would take them to literally shoot themselves in the foot at this point in order for them to ruin YouTube. And that's basically what they've tried doing a few things in the past, and people just revolted against YouTube, and they've quickly backed down from those rules. So you can kind of figure they know what they can't only go a certain point before they go too far. Thoughts on the ChurchCon R&B on Glocks? Worth the money. I don't get into the high-end gun modding enough to really pay attention to it today. I most of my guns are pretty much stock the way they are, especially pistols. I don't do too much with them, so letting you know, and that hell, I haven't been shooting in a while. I mean, once I have my son, man, it's like you can't do much because you always have your son with you, or you have to go get a babysitter. Because obviously I can't take him to the gun range with me. He's not old. Well, I don't know if he's old enough or not, but that's besides the point. I don't know if it's the right time for him to take him to the gun range yet, because he's only 3.5 years old. Well, I remember when I started shooting, I was probably about 5 or 6 years old. I started shooting with my uncle's 22s. So when he gets about 5 or 6, if I feel like he's mature enough and ready to start learning how to handle guns and stuff, then we'll get to that level. But right now, he's a little too young. I love you. Leo Cruz, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Marcel, yep. Well, anyways, what's up? We're just hanging out, man. We're hanging out. Hassan, what's going on? All good. Do you have any reviews on the interiors, like cleaners and redustings? I do. Feel free to go through some of my older videos. I have not done many interior videos in a long time. It seems like most companies nowadays that are out there are really, really concentrating on paint care more than they're worried about the interiors. Have you noticed that? Paint care is what, let's face it, I'm going to be real with you guys, as real as can be. The average consumer doesn't give two shits what happens inside his car. I'll be real with you. Very rarely do you get questions about what happens inside the car. When you roll up to a car meet and hanging out with the guys and girls, they're only seeing the outside of your car. They're not looking at the inside of your car. They don't see it. When you drive down the street, people only see the outside of the car. So that's why these companies are only really hard time working on the exterior of your car. So all the new products you're seeing are always exterior related. Have you ever noticed that? It's because most people just don't care. Regular interior detail is fine. They wipe it down, vacuum it, call it a day. That's what most people do. And they really want to worry about waxes, sealants, whatever they can put on the outside to make their car look beautiful. And generally, that's what they care about. Let's face it. And can you blame them for it? That's where the money is. So of course, the companies just follow the money. And if you sit back and think about it, you're like, yeah, you're right about that. It's true. It's really true. Not far from Markham. There you go, man. I remember driving through. So back then I had my German license plate on the front of the car. My Prelude had a German license plate on the front. And when I got back to the United States border, it was funny. They were like, "So are you from Germany?" I was like, "No." They're like, "Oh, okay." And they were like, "Let's see, passports or whatever." I looked at it, and they were like, "All right, you're good to go." It's really crazy getting back in the United States. It's like the cameras. There's probably 10 cameras around your car driving back in the United States. But like going into Canada, they didn't give two shits what happened when I went into Canada. Like I was literally laying back in like this chair, his feet up, and was like, "Where are you heading?" And I was like, "Oh, we're going to Niagara Falls, probably going to Toronto." All right, have a good day. That was it. I mean, they didn't give it crap, but the United States guy, he was walking all around the car, checking it and everything, and I'm like, what? So that was pretty funny. Are you going to try McGuire's 2020 products? Yes, I am, Aaron, but once we get to it, haven't had a chance right now. It's hard to get a gun permit in Florida. Is it hard? No, God, no. As long as you don't have any felonies or anything like that, it's really actually pretty easy. McGuire's 2020 stuff is already a disappointment on Jimbo's channel. I don't know. I was just kind of like shot down. Matter of fact, I don't even know. I'll be real with you guys. They actually paired me up with the guy when we went on the driving car thing, whatever it was. I don't know if you guys watch his channel. I don't watch his channel, so I don't know. I didn't really know who the guy was. But they paired me up with him, and it was him and his wife, and he actually has an editor, an Asian kid that's an editor for him that does his videos. And we went the AMG Mercedes G-Wagon. But me and him actually rode together the whole way out to the lookout point in the mountains in Phoenix outside Scottsdale, and then we rode back together. But yeah, honestly didn't know who he was because again, I don't watch a lot of stuff. What's up, Mike? How you doing, man? Did you go to SEMA? No. My son better be asleep because it's getting pretty late. Best class cleaner formula. I like invisible glass for car care. Personally, I use that all the time. I just used it the other day on my white Prelude out there because the interior was starting to get a little messy, so I cleaned it all the way up. I use that all the time. Do you have any favorite American cars? Ooh, I'm not the biggest American car fan. I will tell you that right now. They've never really done it for me too much. If I had to say anything, maybe like a Dodge Charger from back in like the late 60s, early 70s. I like those. I kind of like the Camaros from back in those times as well. Newer cars, nothing really. Like, I'll give you an example. What I look at today, I'll give you, let's say today we all sat down, we were looking at cars, and we're like, man, this Corvette looks sick. Well, then 15 years from now, that Corvette, I'll look back at it and be like, that doesn't really look that good. And that's generally what happens. You know, back 15 years ago, I could say, well, this car is nice. This car is nice. Maybe it doesn't do it for me personally, but they're pretty nice. And now I go back and 15 years ago, I look at a 2004, let's say Corvette or Mustang and stuff, and I'm like, meh, meh. They didn't age well with years, you know what I mean? Where some cars, they just look gorgeous. RX-7 FDs from the 90s, Supras, Acc0rd NSXs from the 90s. Those kind of things, you look at them, you're like, damn, they still look good all these years later. And they just, I don't know, Americans just doesn't have the design quality that really sparks my interest personally. Again, this whole channel is about me, one person, giving my one opinion. Funny thing to YouTube guys like McGuire's 20s, 26th, won't mention names. So funny few other YouTube guys, like, I don't know, man. Again, I don't watch any other people. Like, lately I've been watching a lot of just, I don't know, like car-related stuff, like reviews and stuff. But I don't watch other YouTubers that do the same thing I do. Because I'm going to try the products anyways. I'm going to give my 2 cents, and that's about it. Do you have any preference when it comes to wheel protectors? You recommend wax? I do actually have some, if you really are into ceramic coating, you can always get some ceramic coating like this from Acc0rd. It's deluxe. You can put this on your wheels and it'll be stellar. Right now, as a matter of fact, on, what is it? That right here, when I washed this car the other day, I actually put this on there. The ceramic wet wax, when the car was wet, I actually sprayed down the entire wheels. So if you guys got to see in the video when I reviewed the hybrid solutions at the very end, I actually showed you what it was like with side by side. And when I was done, I was actually sprayed this on the car's wheels because those damn wheels put out more dust than any car I've ever seen. The GTR puts out bad dust, brake dust, but my God, does the Civic Type R put so much brake dust out. It's annoying almost at the point. So I was like, man, I got to start doing some stuff to make it easier on me so it's not as nasty trying to really dig in there forever and clean these wheels out. So I've heard, now I haven't tried it, I've heard this is okay as well. And you can put this on there as well. So maybe if you guys want to try that as well. I mean, I'm just trying stuff, you know me, but I've heard it's safe for all that stuff. Other than JDM, do you enjoy Italian cars? Ferraris are very pretty, very sexy, very expensive, couldn't afford it, so I really don't waste my time. You know what I mean? It's like the average everyday guy, very few people could even afford a GTR. Who the fuck did I know that could afford a Ferrari or Lamborghini? My wife could afford one because she's a doctor and she makes a shit ton of money. But does she even care about Ferraris or cars? No, she doesn't give a crap about cars. So it would be pointless for her. She would never buy one and she would never drive it anyway. She'd be too scared to drive it. So very, very, very few people can afford it. So I guess I don't look at it like, oh man, I'd buy one. Because in reality, I couldn't afford one. It would be just silly of me even to buy it. I'd much rather invest in buying a second house somewhere out in the mountains because that house value is going to go up and I can use it. My whole family can use it. And where a car is just going to go down in value. You see what I'm saying? So that personally is my stance on that. I think they make some gorgeous, beautiful cars, but wow, are they expensive. So other than just looking at it like eye candy, I don't think about it like, oh, I want to buy one because it's pointless for me. I couldn't afford one unless I hit the lotto. Favorite Japanese cars? I obviously love my GTR. I love it a lot. I love the Mark IV Supras from the 90s. I love the NSXs from the 90s. Hell, I love a lot of 90s cars. They just had the best looks of any cars recently. Like the 2000s were kind of boring. 2010s, it seems like they started really coming back alive with some lot better looking cars. And now I feel like we're starting to see a lot more of that. But the 90s, I think, was the golden era of just beautiful cars. When you see them, you're just like, my God, that car is almost 30 years old now. and they still are just turning heads wherever they go. It just shows that they have it there. Me too. Only American car likes the Charger. Yep, I drive a Honda. Yep, that's good. I have 3 Hondas. I've had them for years and years and years. With CMX Steel and Shine, should I spray on a panel or a pad and apply? I just spray it straight on the panel. I go burp, 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 and then I just wipe it down. That's all you do to it. It's really easy. My Nissan Sentra ages beautifully. As long as you're happy with it. You know, in the end, that is the great thing about us all. You might like one thing and I might like another, but as long as you're happy, that's the only thing that matters. That is great. There's like so many YouTube channels out there doing the same thing I do, you know, and they're popping up left and right now. And they'll all have their own opinion on it. Some might have the same opinion as me, some might not have the same opinion as me, but everybody, for the most part, is it's great that everybody has their own opinions. What works best for you? If your Sentra is the end-all be-all for you, I'm very happy. I'm glad that you enjoy it. Maybe the Sentra wouldn't be enough for me, but everybody to each their own, and that's why I like it. New super fan. I think they royally screwed up. I'm not the biggest one, Yolani. I would much rather Toyota have made it from the beginning. And I love how the Toyota says, well, we couldn't have ever done it without them. It would be too expensive. Bullshit. You're one of the biggest companies in the world. Don't give me that excuse. You literally half-assed it. You made the body on it. The entire interior is BMW. The entire engine bay and drivetrain is all in BMW. The only thing you did is put on new wheels on it, literally a new shell body on it, and then you called it a day. I mean, you literally did nothing to it, and that just kind of like got me there. It's like, ooh, you used to make some amazing cars, and now you're making everybody else make them. And the demand is not there. Go on Auto Trader right now. Just type in Supra. Every dealer in the world has them, and they're selling them, and nobody's buying them. You'll see a few out there, but for the most part, other than a bunch of YouTubers, I guess, that want to be cool and now have the next cool car, nobody's really buying them. I never see anybody with them. I've only seen one out in Orlando. One. That's it. And Orlando, as you know, well over 2 million people in the greater Orlando area, and I've only seen one. GTRs you'll see once in a great while on the road. And to me, just buy used GTR. That's the way I see it. Is it really just do microfiber cloths? Yes, I have definitely seen that personally myself when it comes to microfiber. I've seen some really, really cheap ones that just roll up on you and they're just trash. And then you get some more of the higher quality ones that won't roll up on you as easy. They just seem to really work and soak up product really good. And I personally like those a lot better. I would rather spend $20 on 10 microfiber towels and go to Walmart and spend $5 on 10 microfiber towels. The quality difference is night and day. And so that's generally what I normally do. You remind me of Rob Dyrdek. Too bad I'm not as rich as him. I'm planning on getting a new Grills Garage 9DA with pads. What do you recommend for light scratches? I'll tell you right now, I haven't personally tried the new Turtle Wax stuff. I saw it in action. Looks pretty cool. I personally love the 3D Car Cares 3D1. It's actually in the closet over there. 3D1 is stellar. I actually personally used it on the Type R. So the only thing, so this Type R obviously was brand new when I bought it. The only problem is your pillars were completely swirled out, and I don't understand why. So I had to, before I ceramic coated, so I ceramic coated the whole back end of the car, the pillars, everything back there that didn't need to be, it's never going to be seen on YouTube. And they were so swirled out where I actually did it. And I used 3D1's all-in-one thing. Let me see if I can get it out for you guys. Holy crap. There you go. Door open. Yeah, I kind of messed around, knocked some stuff out around here. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about for anybody who doesn't know. It's a 3D1 hybrid compound polish. This stuff is stellar. It has no fillers in it, nothing. This stuff is like a once all, knocked it out, and it's just freaking stellar. I loved it. So once I actually knocked it out, and I made one pass, one set of passes with the actual buffer, and that's it. That's all I had to do. They were 100% gone. I was just like, hot damn. And I used that on more than one car, so I knew it wasn't just me, and I was like, wow, this stuff's great. After that, I came back actually with CarPro UK It's CarPro UK 3.0. It's their ceramic car stuff, and I put it all on there. So I put 2 layers of the ceramic on everything of this car that normally you guys don't see in the video, and really love that. New Honda Fighter by BMW. Ooh, I like the BMW looks a lot better. I would go with the BMW on this one, just because the looks of that is just way better looking for me. I've never been the biggest fan of Honda motorcycles. I have the Honda Grom. For anybody who doesn't know, I have a little Honda Grom that's into motorcycles, but I've never been the biggest fan of their sport bikes. Oh, hey Chad, used Mother's ceramic spray for the first time, dusted everywhere, ended up washing the car second time anyway. So their ceramic spray, what he's talking about is there right here. he's talking about this stuff. The ceramic spray coating, correct? What this does is when you spray it, part of the byproduct, when you're actually wiping it down, it looks like little sand particles everywhere, okay? I showed this in my review. It's a little sand particle stuff. No big deal. It just kind of blows off. No big deal. It's just one of the byproducts. Don't sweat it. It's what happens all over the car. But it's not the end of the world. You can blow it off with your own breath, or you can just use a second microfiber towel. It will not hurt anything. It does not affect anything, but damn, that stuff is amazing. So please, don't think that you're going to hate it because of that. Just wipe it off. You're going to love it. It's just the byproduct of the actual SiO2 in there. Thanks for all the videos and a lot of the good recommended things. Thank you so much, Bill. I try to give all truthful reviews. All truthful. No, seriously, I literally give my word on it. Either I like it or I hate it, and what I'd like to see changed on it. Maybe some people, might fudge the truth in order to get some more free products, but I don't really care. If a company doesn't want to send me stuff, I just don't care. I'll tell you how it is, and if I don't like it, so what? If they don't want to send me any more products, I don't care. I'm still going to buy it, and then I'll still dog them if they still make crap products. That's just the way it is. But no, I really am. I'm thankful that I have so many of you all out there that really believe that I'm telling the truth and that really give you honest to goodness reviews, because I was like you guys. I swear to God, I would buy just products every weekend. I go to Walmart, try more products, and I'm like, this is not good. This is not good. Oh, this is pretty good. I'll start using this a lot more. And I was just having bottles almost basically full of product that I never used anymore. And I was like, you know what? I want to put some, just my thoughts on all these products. And that's basically how I started the YouTube channel. SUVs were any good looking vehicles in the 2000s? Ooh, yeah, I'm not a big fan of SUVs myself. Ever considered making a porno? Yeah, that would be nice. Let me get my wife. Oh, that's right. She's always like, meh. So, no, that's not going to work out for me. 2013 Civic, I own one. Okay, I've owned only one Civic, obviously. I've owned a couple Honda Accords. Obviously, why that screen name Honda Accord, or the Accord screen name. Obviously, my two Preludes and stuff like that. So, I've owned multiple Hondas, but, I don't have any problem with it. I just like the Type R a lot because it's just rare. It's numbered. I like the extraordinary looks on it. In reality, it looks really good. Obviously, you can see the blue is gorgeous and all these new LED lights we have installed here. The LEDs are everywhere now. They look gorgeous, and I love the color. So personally, I like something that's different. I like something that's going to stand out. The resale value is going to be ridiculously high if I ever decide to sell this car, because it is a individually numbered Type R, and people love Type Rs, let's face it. Just purchased Wax God Super Stud based on your recommendation. Do you recommend following the mixing amounts of the bottle? I'm pretty sure I followed the mixing amounts exactly how it was. I think it was, is it 1 ounce per, I used to have the bottle, but I think I'm all out. I will look for you real quick. I don't know if I have any, his old bottle, because I went through his car wash. I loved it so much. He's one of the few products that I actually went through the entire bottle. I don't have it anymore. I don't have the original bottle. I must have thrown it away. Wax Gods is freaking phenomenal, though, when it comes to their soaps. I think you're going to love it. Just follow the instructions like I do in all my videos, and I think you're going to really have a good time with it. Would you recommend the Grillo's Garage 6-inch reader? Yes, I actually own one of them. I've owned it for about 5 years now. I've used it on many, many, many cars and never had a single problem with it, ever. And the fact that Grillo's Garage gives you a lifetime warranty. If you're a person who happens to have a lot of things that break on you, then get a Grillo's Garage, because it has a lifetime warranty. All you got to do is ship it up to them, show them your original invoice that you paid for it, and then get a copy of it, and then boom, it's done. Free. You don't pay anything other than just shipping it back to, I think it's Indiana is where their stuff's at, and then that's it. You're done. Highly recommend it. As a matter of fact, they have a new, was it G9? You might want to check out that one as well. It's like, they're usually like 140, 150 bucks, but still, lifetime warranty. Thumbs up on that. Do you think radar detector is worth it? Yes, 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 yes. I don't know if you can see it in there. Yes. All of my cars, all of them have radar detectors. I usually will do at least 5 to 10 over the speed limit, okay? Yes, I run the Waze app. Every time I leave the house, the Waze app is on. So generally, I know where the cops are at before they're even anywhere going off on my radar detector, okay? If you live in an area where they run a lot of laser, then you need to look at something like the ALP priority laser jammer system for your car. But here I live in my area of Florida, they only use KA band, so I don't really need to use it. Now, certain parts, those little rinky-dink towns north of Orlando that are like the suburbs of Orlando on the north side, they do run laser out there, but they're little small towns that I never go to. And they're just nothing but speed traps out there, you know how it is. But down here in Kissimmee, they only run KA band, and usually they're so lazy they don't even actually run. They don't even do. In all the years I've lived here, I've been here 7 years. I don't ever think I've seen a speed trap here set up by the Osceola County sheriffs. Never. They don't run. They're so busy with crime here in Kissimmee. I guess it's getting so bad. They're getting a lot of people coming in. I heard from the islands, like Puerto Rico and stuff. There's a lot heavy Puerto Rican population here in Kissimmee. Then I was told by the one guy, he said what it is the drug cartel, something like that kind of thing. They all get ran out from Kissimmee. They all get ran out of Puerto Rico and all come to Kissimmee. Mostly they go down to Point Siena, which is a like suburb of Kissimmee, and they have high gang action down there. So the Osceola County Sheriff doesn't give two flying shits what you do when you're out there on the road. So, but yes, I always run radar detectors everywhere I go. If you have any questions about it, there's a YouTube channel called Vortex Radar. The dude beyond tests everything. I mean, down to scientific testing. And there's nothing right now that beats the unit in R3 or R7. The only difference between the unit in R3 and the R7 is the R7 actually has arrows, kind of like the Valentine 1 did for years. And it shows you which direction that signal is coming from. Other than that, there's no difference. And that's why I have two unit in R3s. One's in the Civic Type R, one's in my Blue Prelude. I run the Acc0rd Red Line in my wife's minivan. The GTR has a Valentine 1, so yes, I do run many radar detectors. Well, what's up, Racer? New Supra wheels base that makes it look like a pinata. I'm not the biggest fan of the actual Supra wheels. Not the biggest fan. I saw them in person. They have two of them there on the when we go. I always get my wife's minivan service at Central Florida Toyota in South Orlando here. They just don't do it for me. If you had the time, what other types of YouTube videos would you recommend other than auto-related? I'm consistently firearms-related content, but YouTube is already so saturated. You know, that's what I see about all this stuff. There's everybody and their brothers trying to make it. I've been watching, as a matter of fact, I've played with the idea of in the future getting like some kind of like a used Land Cruiser or FJ Cruiser, maybe do a little bit of like, I don't know, goof off-road some stuff here in the future. You know, do that kind of stuff. I like to do that. I've been wanting to go to the mountains for years. I love going out west. I love seeing the giant Rockies and things that we don't have here, those off-road trail stuff. I'm sure we do. Don't get me wrong. But Florida, for the most part, is flatter than flat. So it's kind of boring, you know? Like, what are you going to off-road on? A dirt trail through some pine trees? I don't see the point. But I would love to have something like that, like where I could just go out there in the middle of the woods. You go throw up a tent out there and just go. I don't know, that'd be fun. Go out in the mountains and stuff and go on those big rocky trails out through the mountains. I think that would be a lot of fun. But I don't know, maybe in a couple of years I'll buy like a used Land Cruiser, FJ Cruiser, and go out there, and that would be a lot of fun. But I don't know. That's what I've generally been watching lately. I watch a lot of car reviews, a lot of car reviews. I love car reviews. That's personally me altogether. But I think that's about most what I spend when I'm not doing other stuff. What do you do to dry your cars? Microfibers. I have microfiber towels. Like these. I don't know if you can see these things right here. They're waffle weave microfiber towels. These are actually from Chemical Guys. I don't know if you can see them really close. They're waffle weave. They're like 3 feet long. I don't know if you can see how big they are. They're actually longer than that. Here, they're 3 feet long. Let's put it that way. I bought like 3 or 4 of these. I have some other ones from Guerrillo's Garage, but they're also waffle weave. That's what I use exclusively to dry my car. So once one's fully saturated, I just pull out the other towel and I just keep going. I keep drying, and that's what I do. I knock out my cars really quick. MMT Pros. Everybody's giving thumbs up. Okay, Master Systems is Chemical Guys. Changed my mind. They're not even owned by the same company, and Chemical Guys hates Mastersons, so I think it's pretty funny, actually. Hey, Chad, great to see you still alive. Man, I've always been alive, man. What I did is I really had to start. I'm really wanting to change my careers. So in order to do that, I wanted to become a pilot, and so I started flight school, and I've already spent $8,000. $8,000. Do you know when I went to college, I was probably spending $1,000 to $1,500 a semester for college classes. So every year I was spending, let's just say $3,000 a year, maybe top end $3,500 a year per year at college. And in a couple of months, I spent $8,000 in flight school. Let that sink in a little bit, guys. It's out of control how much it is. So when it came to me spending this much already, and I'm almost done with my private pilot list, I've slacked the last couple of months. I've had to take a break because we've had some financial stuff we ran into for fixing the house. But you don't want to screw around when you're spending that kind of money. You guys all understand that, I'm sure. So other than I just need to sit down my lazy butt and actually knock out this written exam so that I can go finish my last couple of solo flights around the state of Florida, get my solo hours in, and then just have the FA instructor come out. That's what I've really been doing, is just hammering down to make sure I got that done. This whole week I spent about an hour every day watching the online quiz reviews and taking practice quizzes to get this done, because I know I've already spent that much money. It's an investment now, and I got to finish it and knock it out, because I really want to leave my job bad, but I want to have another job lined up for me. What pads would you recommend on light swirls? So I've been using stuff like Lake Country pads. I have Grillo's Garage pads. I really, really like 3D's pads. 3D has this, they call them spider pads. I'll show it to you really quick. When 3D sent me a bunch of their stuff, I didn't get their video reviews out. Probably to me about that, but I just never had a chance to get around to it. So they sent me these kind of pads right here. They're spider pads. So I actually used them on my own. And I don't know if you can see the little crotches in them. Basically, it's all like individually cut, and they help to cut better when you're actually doing it. I absolutely loved those pads. So if you're going to buy this stuff for swirls, get the 3D one, get a couple other pads at the same time, and you'll be happy. And DH6 are definitely worth it. Saved me many times. Yeah, off to bed later, Delane. What up, ONR? My first Honda. Okay. We got to go to sleep, man. School tomorrow. Enjoy, Marcel. I got to take my son to school like 7 something in the morning. So I usually only get a few hours of sleep between, and then I sleep during the day. So we'll see. If you had to pick 3 products for 2019, what would that be? Definitely Mother CMX, ceramic spray. Definitely Turtle Wax Seal Ice and Shine. For 2020, I'm trying to think out what other products that came out for 2020. The problem is everything starts to pile up in my head, and I can't remember what actually came out in 2020 or 2019. But shit, I'm trying to think here. Bear with me on this one. I don't know why I can't remember anything else. My brain is like dead right now. But for sure, the Mother CMX ceramic spray, and for sure Turtle Wax Ice Seal and Shine. Those two for sure. Do you like, I don't even watch, Bobby, I don't watch any other YouTubers, detailing YouTubers. I do this for me. I don't do it for anybody else. I don't try and compete with anybody else. I honestly don't care about anybody else. I literally had one guy with like, you don't care about them? Whoa, what kind of jackass are you? And I'm like, what the fuck kind of comment is that? I mean, the shit you get, the comments. I'm like, no, I don't give a damn about anybody else's YouTube. I'm not trying to compete with anybody else's YouTube, and I don't care. They do them and I do me, and that's the way the world works. The minute you start giving a shit what other people think in your life is the minute you're not your own person anymore. You know what I mean? Think of it. I know I'm being just so damn harsh, but when you get older, you realize these things. You really do. Think of it like this. Remember the little cheerleaders in high school that thought they were hot shit, and you all just sucked their titties dry because you wanted to be popular and cool with them? You weren't you, because that's not the person you were. You would do whatever it is. These guys will literally throw their entire paychecks away every week just to keep her happy. Maybe she'll have sex with me and stuff. That's not you. That's not you. And you're doing whatever she wants. So that's not the true you. You're bowing over just because you want somebody to like you. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. You need to do what you want to do in life. Now, this is real talk, guys. Real talk. And you guys can get this from everywhere you want. You guys can say that's crap. But in reality, if you weren't trying to get that piece of ass from that girl, I apologize about being crude here, but if you weren't trying to get that piece of ass, you wouldn't give 2 shits about that woman, and you wouldn't spend a dime on her. You would be spending money on you, what you wanted, when you wanted, because it's your money, not her money. Too many people, especially these ladies out there, this is just my example from me, they want you to spend all their money on you. When was the last time she spent any money on you? All because of one thing. You want one thing from her, and that's it. And that's just real, because you want that. Well, I hope she likes me. I hope she likes me. I hope she likes me. Screw what she likes. Do whatever you like. Whatever you like. And if she likes it too, then hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Basically, that's what it comes down to. I don't ever compete with anybody. I don't even look at other YouTubers' channels that are in the same field as me. I just have fun, and I do what I want to do when I want to do it. Basically, that's what it comes down to. So, I was just shocked when that person said that. I was like, I care what everybody else thinks about it, It's just me doing me, and that's what I want in the end. I guess I must be just getting old where I don't give a crap as much anymore, What do you think of Turtle Wax new products? I have been loving them real time. I have been actually loving them. 3D for sure. For sure, I have been loving it. So, I went out there and flew out there. They paid me to go out there. Well, they pay me. They paid for my flight, my hotel out there. I love this stuff. I actually, if you guys got to see the car wash, for anybody who hasn't seen that review yet, I don't have why we see my car wash review. I put this on at the very end. You got to see 50-50 of it. Now, the Civic actually has a little bit of something left on it, but this stuff really, you got to see a huge difference how much faster it ran off with it. I haven't had a chance to try the detailer yet. Bear with me, I'll get the detailer when I'm done, but I haven't tried the polish yet. So that's generally about it. So I've liked all their stuff except the car wash. Car wash I wasn't that thrilled with, but hey, you know, you can't be happy with everything. Illegal where you live, screw illegal. You just got to be like, look, bro, I'll do what I want. As a matter of fact, when I went to Canada, I still had my radar detector in the window, and I still drove in Canada with my radar detector. Remember I told you I went up there to the Prelude? Yeah, I had the radar detector in my window. Still went out there, didn't matter. Send me an orbital polisher. Okay, you should buy your own. Laser jammer is illegal in California. Which model is it good for the first-time driver? Laser jammer, the best right now that I've seen tested, period, from Vortex Radar, when he tests every little thing from he'll get every single gun sent to him, and then he tests it with the latest firmware and everything. The best is ALP priority. ALP, he'll have you put 3 little heads on the front and 2 on the back. It jams every single gun out there. There's no gun, even the Dragonite, which is supposedly the best laser gun there is out there, they can't punch through. It automatically basically puts up imagine they're shooting a light at you, and then you're shooting this huge floodlight beam back at them, so it's just screwing up their sensor, which gives you enough time to slam on the brakes, get down to a normal speed, and then you just flick off the laser jammer immediately. Basically, that's what you have to do. So when you're using laser jammers, he talks all about it, how to use it properly, but basically, you want to shut it off in the first 3 to 4 seconds. Otherwise, they get a little fishy why can't I get a lock on this car? Basically what it comes down to is, if you're doing 82 miles an hour in a 70 mile an hour zone, you bam, that laser jammer goes off and you slam on the brakes. And as soon as you get down to 73 or whatever, boom, you can hit the switch, turn it off immediately. So that way it gives them time to get a reading on you. And you're doing 73 and they're like, oh, he's no big deal, and let him go along. And basically that's what a laser jammer does. Where a radar detector, they're just sending out a huge beam of waves of radar, and they can't really pinpoint who it is unless you're kind of running solo, and they have to just kind of guess. They're clearly this inside lane is the fast one. I can tell that. Well, that one's the one that's shooting off doing 83 miles an hour. I'm going to stop him. Where a radar detector, it'll pick it up from a mile, 2-3 miles away if it's a good straight road all day long. So it gives you more than enough time to slow down and react. Where a laser is instant, they got your balls. So you got to get a laser jammer if you live in a town or a state that uses a lot of laser. Do you have to be skydive certified? No, not at all. Aaron's unit is one of the Sims Club. No, you need to get a unit in R3. You need to get an R3. R1 doesn't have the lockout, GPS lockouts. I'd recommend the R3. Get it off Amazon. It was $2.99. It was worth every penny. Have you ever tried the Tor 10FX polisher? No, I don't. I'm not the biggest fan of chemical guys, okay? If anybody hasn't figured it out, I'm not the biggest fan of chemical guys. Have you tried dirty coating tire dressing? No, I haven't, Scott. I have not. What's up, brother? Lots of new products from the Turtle Wax Mother car carrier line, even McGuire's. Looking forward. I will do the best that I can as fast as I can, G35. I'm glad that you are hanging in there with me. We're thinking about the new Supra. I was talking about it earlier. It's a BMW with a Toyota shell. They're a great car, but they're not a Toyota, and that's what I've have a big hang up with. Yeah, Matt, we're definitely talking. I think this coming weekend we have to go back to Jacksonville again to go to a wedding out there. There's another wedding, so we have to go back this coming weekend. And we already talked to the realtor. We're going to look at a house out there on the west side of Jacksonville it can hold. So there thinks that it can hold between 12 and 15 cars in their garages that they have. It's fucking A. They have the guy's a contractor. He builds stuff. So he built 2 buildings next to his house where he keeps his classic cars in it. He has a car lift in it. He keeps his big boats and his RV in it and stuff like that. But it can hold between 12 and 15 cars in it. I'm like, oh. But anyways, we're going to look at that house next week. I don't think we're ever going to look at moving in the next couple of years, but we're still going to go look at this house because both me and her were both like, that's not bad. The outside of the house isn't the biggest thing for me, but the inside is completely updated. It's freaking stellar inside there. You know what I mean? But the garage is where it's at. The realtor even told me the garage is actually air conditioned on top of that, and you're like, holy crap. The guy just basically, he owned his own company, so he owns his own construction company, so he made his stuff exactly the way he wanted it, to his comforts and stuff. I'll give you an example where he backs his big deep sea fishing boats into one of these, ones that are 50 feet deep, part of the building. He has little holes all along the side. This little rack with holes that go all the way around it, right? That's just for his fishing poles. It's nuts. It could probably hold 100 fishing poles in there. And you could probably put 5-6 cars deep in that one long lane. And there's 2 of them, one for his RV and one for that. It's just like, oh my God. So it's actually pretty cool to see that. His car lift in there for his classic cars. And I'm like, man, wouldn't that be something to have that much garage? But we'll see. Beta males. I took the red pill. Nice. Good orbital polishers that are cheap. Just get a Grills Garage. I've had mine for 5 or 6 years now. Never a single problem with it. Lifetime warranty. Couldn't recommend them anymore because they just do exactly what they say they're going to do. And they work great. Are there better, faster ones out there? Maybe they have longer throws and stuff like a Flex or Rupes. Of course there are, but you're going to be paying $399. For the average Joe, you don't need that stuff. You'll be just fine with the Grills Garage ones. New mods? No. The mod that is going to be this month is going to be paying it off. At the end of this month, my car payment is due for this car, even though I don't actually owe anything on it because I'm so far out. I'm paying the GTR off. I owe $1,400 left on the GTR, so I'm just going to go ahead and pay the entire car off, get my title, and be done with having that car. So that car will be completely paid off after less than 3 years of buying it. So I've been blessed beyond belief being able to have so many cars and paying off so fast. And I do good enough for myself, let's put it that way, where I can do this stuff. So that's really cool about that. Satellite Garage, it's huge. What's the cut you get from Turtle Wax? $1 million, Michael, $1 million. They're actually going to send me a brand new Supra next week. I appreciate you questioning me about that. I cannot wait for the new Supra to come. And when you see it showing up on my thing, Michael, that way you'll know Turtle Wax sent it to me. So that's really cool. What do you think about Turtle Wax? Anthony, watch this video of mine. Seriously, if you haven't watched it yet, you clearly haven't missed it. Watch this entire video and wait till the very end. You're going to see where I tried out this stuff right here. It works great. Just go watch that video. You're going to see it. I think you're really going to like it there. Good to see you again, Michael. Yeah, Michael is one of my favorite subscribers. So when Michael gets to see my brand new Supra that comes out next week, and that he's going to know that Turtle Wax sent me one of those for my thank you for helping them sell another 200 million units. So look out for that one, guys. I told him I wanted the yellow Supra. So when you see the yellow Supra, like, hey, I got a new car, that's because Turtle Wax sent me all the money for it. And so just letting Michael know. $1.99, what's up, VBIs? It has been a little while. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. So how are you doing, sir? It has been a little while. Are you freezing out there in Texas? Because it's cold today here in Florida. I was just like, this sucks. It's got kind of cold here. I see, I guess I'm not your favorite sub. Gosh, by the way, my bot check bounced. What? I don't know. No drinks tonight. I was actually just drinking a Mexican Coke earlier. The bottled Coke that you get from Sam's Club. I know, Sam's Club in the house. But yeah, I was drinking one of those earlier. I'm actually kind of thirsty. My throat's kind of sore. Watching your test videos is the reason why I've gotten into car detailing. Thank you so much for being a non-biased, genuine person. I appreciate it, Paul. I'm just your average Joe like everybody else out here. There's no difference between me and any of you guys. I work a regular job Monday through Friday. I've been there for 22 years of my life and change. I come home and I want my cars to look nice. I spend a lot of money on cars. That's obvious. And I want my cars to look very good. Am I going to be the next Mike Phillips from Auto Geek, you know, and this pro detailer that does this for a living? No, but I've got enough knowledge that I can keep my cars really damn good looking, and that's what I want. And I want to find products that are going to keep up with that. You know what I mean? That's what I like. Remember, you buy subs. Oh, I do buy subs. Well, then why the hell don't I have 200,000 subs if I buy subs? Like some of those other people that have like 100,000 subs. I guess I just don't do that. Checking in from Destin. Yeah, man, you can keep your cold air up there, man. It's like 52 degrees outside right now. 52 degrees. You can keep that stuff back in the panhandle. The other day, I remember looking, brother, it was 65 degrees here in Kissimmee. It was 31 degrees in Pensacola. I was like, fuck. 30-something degrees colder in the exact same state. For anybody who doesn't understand that, let that sink in a little bit. We are in the exact same state. And it was 34 degrees colder in North Florida than it was here. 34 degrees colder. And everybody's like, it's not cold in Florida. I'm like, it's 31 degrees there. It's below freezing. And here was 65. It's just mind-blowing that just that bit distance is just nuts how cold it gets. North Florida will freeze, and Central Florida is, it's fine. South Florida, it's like their low will be 60 and people are freezing. I think Stay Frosty said he's from the Miami area. Hope you are well. I'm doing very good. Thank you again for hitting me up, man. It's been a little while. Yeah, I'm going to try and start doing a lot more live streams. And now that it's cooler, we're going to be making a lot more videos. When it's 100 degrees, I sure as shit ain't getting out there and making videos. Forget that. There's all I'm sure it's Michael. Michael loves to come over here and be a hater. Good times. Appreciate your content, honest reviews. Looking forward to videos. Happy holidays. And your family. Stay safe. Stay armed. Yeah, my Glock 43 is right inside the laundry room right now. So, yeah, that's right there. Well, it's always with me. It's usually in the garage or something. But we had a lot of guys coming in and out of the garage and stuff. So I was like, shit, I don't need to have one of my pistols just sitting out there in the open when I got people coming by. I don't need sticky fingers walking by taking one of my guns. So I took it back inside the house. But normally I usually have one of my pistols out here. Just because, sometimes you just grab your keys and go. Well, I'll just grab the gun with me and I go. And if I'm going to go out shopping or do something. So generally the way it works. But yeah, man, take care. I'm sure. Did you go to the Detail Garage opening in Miami yesterday, or was it today? I don't know. So Detail Garage Chemical guys just opened their first Miami store, and that was either today or yesterday. I saw that post up on Instagram. I recently built a new budget PC, and it's amazing. Everything is so easy to do it like 10 years ago. Yes, dude. You've got to get in on that stuff. I love building PCs. It's a lot of fun. I don't use my PC for too much anymore, other than just light gaming, surfing the internet for the most part, or just making these videos. I would like to build a newer one, but I just haven't really worried about it. Thinking, my stuff's fine now, so I haven't really worried about it. Just got a new card gun. It's a 2-shot, but I like the size of the phone, just the point of pull trigger. New card gun. I don't understand what that means, iPhone. New card gun. I don't understand that, buddy. You'll have to explain that a little bit more, because I'm like, what is he talking about? I'm gonna go get a drink, guys. So hang with me. Come on inside the house for a while. Here. There you go. See, I always leave it with me at all times. It's always like right here inside the living room. But I usually leave it right here, so I grab it when I'm going to get my keys or whatever. So it's my Glock 43. So everybody's asking Glock or Sig earlier. There you go. It's just right there for you. All right, let's go get a drink real quick inside the house. Hopefully it's quiet and peaceful in here. All right, let's go. Ooh, Sonny's. We went to Sonny's earlier. Hold on. Ooh, right there. See it? Pooh, you see it? There's my old computer case right there. It has my old computer stuff in it. Screw it. I got sweet tea from Sonny's. Sonny's Barbecue is a sweet restaurant here in Florida. Love it. And I forgot that I had the big drink of sweet tea before I got left. I love it. I'm definitely from the South. I'll tell you that. Oh yeah, that's good. That's good stuff. It's called a card gun because it's thin and small, like mainly size of an iPhone case, and folds up. Oh, okay. We have Rudy's in Texas. First time watching you, liking it. Hassan, thanks so much, man. I really appreciate hanging with you guys. It's more fun just getting to hang out. Some of these days, if I don't have a video out and I can just come hang out with you guys, it's more fun for me just to chill out with you all for a little while. Just hear your thoughts on products. Talk about just everyday stuff. It could be whatever you guys want to talk about. Obviously we're talking about guns, whatever, detectors, laser jammers, you name it. We'll hang out here and talk. And I think that's a lot of fun, because if we were all over in the same garage and we're on the same driveway washing cars together, we're going to be talking about this stuff anyways. And that's the kind of way it is. And that's what I like about my channel. It's never been hardcore this or hardcore that. And it's either detailing or nothing. I don't know. I don't watch the other YouTubers. I don't even know if they've even discussed guns. But here I am showing one of my pistols right here on YouTube live, and some people might get offended and say guns are terrible. And I'm just like, I don't care, man. It's your opinion. That's fine. Cars are bad. I can go in my wife's minivan and fucking plow hundreds of people over and just still keep going. I don't have to reload because that thing's got a full tank of gas. We can do almost 400 miles on that. That's a lot of people I can run over really quick. Oh, but with the cars are okay. It's just crazy shit like that. So it's whatever. It's, what I mean? It's whatever. And I like that about this channel. We can just chill. And you guys will talk about whatever you want. It's okay. Do you guys remember back in, I would say, I don't know how old some of you guys are, the 90s. They had a Saturday Night Live. And they was when I think Mike Myers was on there. And they would have, I forgot what it was. It was a chat with the ladies, and he would act like a Jewish lady who had big old hair and stuff like that. And he would talk amongst yourselves or whatever. And, and she always talking Jewish words, like I got verklempt and stuff. And that was really funny. That's the kind of way I see it here. We can talk about whatever you guys want to talk about, like coffee talk. That's what it was. Coffee talk by God, what was her name? But anyways, it was hilarious. And I think you guys all know what I'm talking about. Did you serve in the Army? Josh, I tried to serve in the Army. I did the University of West Florida's Army ROTC for 3 years. My last year, you had to get your physical, obviously, before you go in, and I wore contacts, and that's when this BS jumping through hoops started. And before I knew it, it was an entire year, and I was still waiting for my contract to clear. And I just said, screw it, I'm just going to leave. And I finished out my school year with them, and I just kept working with my current job. So that was the way that went. So I did 3 years of Army ROTC because I was like, I'm going to do the Army. I'll do it for 6-year contract afterwards, but it just didn't work out. Really wanted to, but life just throws you curveballs when you don't expect them to, whether you want to or not. I always wanted to, but you know, when you give somebody about a year and they still can't get your shit together, I figure, you know what, it's time to move on. I'm not saying everybody's perfect. God knows I'm not perfect, but it wouldn't take me a year to get your stuff together. If, let's say I screwed up on something, I would get it fixed right away. It wouldn't take me that long, but a freaking year. It was hoop after hoop after hoop, and I just said, it ain't worth it for me to keep jumping through hoops. So that's when I just forget it. Another 99 jam, son. Oh my God. Guns are awful. Here we go. That actually happened here in Toronto. Exactly, Hassan. Exactly. Stuffboys just don't get it, brother. No, they don't. Valiant one. And it happened in France, too, if I remember right. A couple of years ago, they were all talking like, oh, guns are illegal in France. What did they do? They went and bought a fucking, like, big semi-truck and just flattened how many people there. Are we going to ban trucks? No. That's different. That is different. Guns are bad, but that person just drove over everybody with a semi-truck in a public square. That doesn't matter. Guns are bad. Trump is bad. And it's just like, oh my God, Jesus Christ. You know, it's just stupid shit like that. You know, like, okay, well, I'm just gonna go buy a couple of trucks. And I'm just gonna wait till Christmas sales and just plow through everybody. It's just the mental aspect of that shit is like, what? I don't even need a gun. I don't need to go to have a gun sales and permit or anything. You don't need them in Florida, but you get the idea. You can just go and rent a truck and then just go have fun. You know, that's what blows my mind about that stuff. So it's like, okay, who didn't think this one through? But whatever. This isn't a political channel. It's just that's the way I thought about it. Boomer, I'm old, man. That's right. Any more golf balls swimming pool? Yes, so when they did they've been doing our roof, so it's almost done. They were waiting to. What are they waiting on? Oh, they had to get a couple of new though. So we have the hard tiles because we have that like, you know, Mediterranean style roof. So it's all done. All the roof's been patched. It has all new wood roof in there, and it has whatever the tar mat stuff that they put on to make it waterproof and everything. When they came down off the roof, they threw all the golf balls in there. Where are they at? Where the hell is my golf stuff? Oh, there they are. This is what came off of our roof. Are you guys ready for this? You ready to have your mind blown? All these golf balls. This came off of our roof. Now, normally at Christmas, every time I go up to put up the Christmas lights on the roof, I always get the golf balls off the roof. They're there. This is what they brought down. Okay, you ready for that? There's about 18 golf balls here. That's how often our house gets hit. And those are ones that just don't come back down off of the roof. They just stay up there and get stuck in the gutters or whatever it is up there. It's nuts. Anyways, that's what kept hitting our house on that side, breaking those ceramic tiles. The tiles would open up, which led it now to rain be able to get on top of that mat, the felt stuff, and then that finally deteriorated, got into the wood, and then the wood rotted away. And that's why we have holes on our roof. There is no holes on this side of the roof. There's nothing facing the street, nothing. It's only whatever faces the golf course that got hit. It's pretty crazy. Why don't you have mods? You've never had any more mods, so you have some really good subs. What? Why don't you have mods? Just wondering. I like to run the channel the way I want to run it. You know what I mean by that? It's just like I want to do it my way whenever I want. It's not out of control for me to handle right now. I only have like 30,000 subscribers, so I don't have any issues with it, and it's pretty simple to contain. What's easier? What is this? Easter already? I'm telling you, man. Well, my son had the Easter basket, and then they dumped them all out there on the front porch, and I'm thinking, what the hell, man? I don't need all those golf balls. So I threw it in his thing, and they were like, oh, that came off your roof. I'm like, dear God. Deuces, man. Enjoy your work. Yeah, I got to work tomorrow evening. That's when I always work. Hassan, thanks for stopping by. Lawsuit. That's why I have a job as director of instruction for. Dude, I'm telling you, that's just since last Christmas I went up there, buddy. There are dings all on the side of our house that face the golf course. You know how many screens we have knocked out. So I'll tell you something cool I got to try. So everybody knew, so I use the foam cannon. And so if you have a pool, you have a screen and pool, the screen in like the metal part of it, it's way up there, it holds up the screen. Well, mine is on the second floor, so it's like, 25 feet up there in the air. Well, I can't get up there with a pressure washer and clean it for obvious reasons. Now I'm thinking, well, how the hell do I get up there? I knew these people were like shooting the chemicals, chlorine, whatever they have up there when they come and clean it. Well, I called people in Kissimmee, and of course nobody ever shows up to work here. Oh, I'll give you an estimate, and they never show up. So I was thinking, how can I get that up there to shoot because I have chlorine from when you do the pool to get up there, because I knew chlorine will get rid of all that mold and algae and stuff. And I thought, I have a pressure washer, obviously. I have a foam cannon. I have a lot of foam cannons. Why don't I take one of my Amazon foam cannons, fill it all the way up with chlorine, and just shoot that sucker all the way up there? Because you open it all the way up to full stream, so it's just like a straight stream, and just shoot that thing about 25 feet up in the air. I did. It cleaned the entire inside of the screen and thing that's like 25 feet up, and I didn't have to pay anybody. I just had to pay the $5 for the chemical buckets, the chlorine from Pinch a Penny, and I cleaned it myself, so that was pretty cool. And because it's downstream, the chlorine actually doesn't go through the machine, which doesn't ruin the machine. Because what they say is you have to get a machine that's the chemicals and the stuff goes in downflow. So after the water's already out of the motor and it's on its way up, that's when it picks it up and shoots it. And I'm like, wait a second. The foam cannon does the same damn thing. You put the foam, the snow foam or whatever, in the foam cannon, which is already at the end of the nozzle, on the water's on its way out. It's the same thing essentially. It's down stream of it. And I actually cleaned the entire pool cage over like 2 days. I just was like, just shooting it way up there, like 25 feet in the air, just shooting the chlorine water up all back and forth on it. And you see over time, it was just getting wider and wider so that the pool cage is clean. That was actually really cool. So pro tip for anybody who needs to clean their pool cage. That's all I got to do. I've been amazing foam game, one orifice. How come my foam is super watery? Could it be the pressure water? I use the chemical guys, properly diluted. I would definitely say that all I do is actually, what is it? Isn't it here? Here's the chemical guys foam can soap right here. It's the watermelon snow foam. 1 to 2 ounces of foam to 5 gallons of water. No. Where's the foam can in one of it? I think it's 2 ounces. Yeah. It's 2 ounces of their foam stuff. That's all I use. So what I do is here. See, I've got foam cans everywhere. Okay, I buy more than one. Everybody keeps asking. They're like, Chad, what do you use? Just get the Amazon one. It's cheap. That's all you need. So I fill this sucker up to, let's just say about 700 milliliters, some give or take right around there. And then I fill it up with 2 ounces of it, okay? And I put warm water. That's all I do. Obviously shake it up just a little bit to kind of mix it up. And then just you should be able to go to town. Make sure you twist the nozzle here. You see that little part right there, the metal part inside where the black nozzle is? Just twist it so where it's just barely open, where you're going to shoot a nice fanned amount of soap all over it. That's all there is to it, man. You shouldn't have any other problems. It shouldn't be any issues because I don't change the orifices on anything. Everything is stock for me, so you guys get to see exactly what a stock a foam cannon would put out. So, and what you'd expect. So hopefully that helps you out, buddy. Hopefully you don't have any issues. Do you know anything about top side oil change? No, I don't mess with any oil changes or anything myself. I literally just take it. As a matter of fact, the GTR is, I keep getting the screen thing that says I gotta change my oil on the GTR. But I just haven't taken it over there to get it done yet because I don't drive it enough anyways. It's just there's a GTR specialist shop on the other side of Orlando, and I just got to drive it over there. It costs $100, and that's the hookup price for the GTR. If I were to take it to the Nissan dealership, it's $200 to change the oil on the GTR. So as you can imagine, I have to schedule something when that guy is free where he can get my car in on a weekend because the guy, he does everything out of his shop on the weekend. So it's like, yeah, I'll wait till a weekend to spend $100 versus $200 at the Nissan dealership. No, I don't know. I mean, my foam cannon is just totally fine there, Justar. I don't have any issues with mine. So the only thing I tell you is just put about 700 milliliters of some nice warm to hot water in there. 2 ounces in the chemical guys, foam suds in there, and you should be fine. Now, I have found with some soaps, the more soap you put in, the better foam results you're going to get, where I've even got up to 4 and 5 ounces, and then I really get a nice thick stuff. But chemical guys, for me, has always worked with just 2 ounces and no issues whatsoever. So hopefully that does help you out a little bit, buddy, because it's not like I do anything. See, I got all kinds of different stuff in here. I got the Masterson snow foam in here, the Mystic. It's 2 ounces is all I ever use. Excuse me. I don't trust dealerships anyways. Have you tried the MTM Hydro P22? Let me tell you, Josh, this is being 100% real. I have 4 different foam cannons. Get the cheap ass Amazon one. Stop spending any big money. I have the chemical guys one at $65, $69. Just don't. It is identical. Maybe the nozzle's a bit different, but essentially, like this is just the matte TC one. This is like $17 off Amazon. It still has a brass fittings and everything, all brass, so it's not cheap junk. It has the plastic just on the top, the twist thing is all plastic, but that's it. The internals is all brass and stuff. And they work for year after year after year. Do not spend more money on a foam cannon. Just don't. They're all the same. Chemical guys, whatever company you want to say sells it, they're all getting it from a Chinese distributor. They're paying $2 for the damn bottle and they're selling it for $70. Don't. Just get one of those. It's a bottle, plastic bottle, okay? You get a plastic bottle out of a dollar Coke machine, okay? And then it has just the little brass nozzle fitting, which is no more than like 50 cents a dollar. They are making shit tons of money off you guys for not buying it. Just go get the Amazon one. You'll be fine. I've never had any issues with it. As a matter of fact, when I was telling you I was cleaning the interior of my pool screen from like it's 20 feet, 5 feet up, that's one of the Amazon cheapo ones for like $14.99, and it still works just fine. It's not foaming the chlorine. It's not supposed to. I just wanted to shoot the chlorine all the way up there, and in order for you to really get it up there, I'm like, well, you usually mix it with water when you're cleaning the roof with chlorine, so I have water and I have chlorine at the same time, so it's mixing it and it's able to shoot it up there, and it works just fine, okay? I wouldn't recommend it, maybe using it again, but you don't know. Get TBE for the Civic, for the Type R. What TBE? I don't understand what you mean. Best wax, paste wax. Longevity, Meguiar's Ultimate. There's nothing you're going to get at Walmart that's going to last longer than Meguiar's Ultimate Paste Wax. Nothing. You'll easily get 5 to 6 months out of it. Solid. Before you really start seeing anything, I'd be right around 5 to 6 months time with a paste wax. You want that? That's where you want to go, longevity. Nothing else will beat it. Thoughts on tinting windshield? Yeah, this is tinted. You know that. This is 5. So this entire windshield is 80%. They call it air blue. It's from Lumar. So the entire thing is 80%. And then you let it dry for a couple of days. And then they came back and put the 5% strip across the top. I wear contacts. Obviously, I told you guys that earlier. My eyes are very sensitive to sunlight anymore. I work nights. And because of that, I like the sun visor tint on it. It really helps here with the Florida sun. It really does. But yeah, I tint the windshield. You can tint it whatever you want. I have it air blue. It really helps keep the heat out just a little bit more, especially here in Florida. But I always put the little 5% on that top strip for me. Has HGC? Yeah, we got a letter for our palm tree. Had a palm tree right in the front. You'll see in one of my videos, right in the corner here. It died recently, and they wrote us up about that. We had to cut it down. Another $300 we had to spend. As you can see, in the last couple of months, we have been spending so much money fixing this house up. It's not even funny. Everything just seems to be falling apart. You know when they always say in real life that when things go bad, they go fucking bad, and it's a train wreck? That's essentially what's happened with this house. The tree died. We had to cut that down. Right where I plugged my hose into, that connector broke. It had a crack in it, the metal tube, and it was just shooting water out the side. And I was like, oh my God. So I had to call a plumber out. They cut a hole around the hole where the faucet is just to get in there to remove that old broken pipe and put a new pipe in. And the guy told me, don't even use it anymore until you have that hole fixed. They said, we don't fix the hole. We just cut the hole in it and fix the water pipe. So we have to have another contractor come out. So basically, we have about a 6-inch hole in the side of our house right there where the faucet is. That went bad. Then the air conditioner went bad a couple weeks later. That was $11,800 to have everything redone because everything inside the thing was shot. It wasn't just the air conditioning unit itself. Everything went bad in it. And then when they got in there to install that, that's when they found the holes in the roof, and they're like, you need to have that part of the roof redone. So we have had nothing but problems, which has really pushed me back from wanting to fly as much because I knew, hey, financially you gotta man up and you gotta know what's more important. But yeah, that's the way it goes. Turbo back exhaust. Oh, just like a cat back exhaust you're talking about? Now I was going to, and I decided, you know what? I like it the way it is. I didn't buy this to go fast in it. I have the GTR. I have a sport bike, obviously. So I didn't buy it to go fast. I wanted it's quick. It is 4-door. That's what I really wanted it for. I wanted the 4-door, and I wanted it to be quick. And it gives me that. And it's unique. It's a Type R. You rarely see these on the road, if ever. And I like that about that. So that's why I generally bought this car. Is it honeymoon phase with Type R? You still? Oh, I still love it. I still drive it all the time. It's really clean right now, so I really don't want to drive it. I washed it just the other day, as you guys got to see in the video. I haven't driven it since. Seriously, I've been driving my blue Prelude. Well, I drove my white Prelude a lot. The white Prelude doesn't have AC. The AC we put in didn't even work more than a year. So I normally don't drive it during the year because it's too hot, but now it's been cool enough. I've been driving the white Prelude a lot, taking my son to school, going to work with it and stuff like that. So I haven't had to have the Prelude, the Civic, much to drive it. But no, I actually love it. I love the Type R. It is great. Pain in the ass to clean. It takes longer to clean the Type R than any other car I own. Any other car. There's so many damn nooks and crannies in this car, especially around the wing and all those little tiny crevices and stuff that no other car has. You just easily wipe it down. Like when I washed the GTR, so the very next day I washed the GTR. You guys got to see I made the video with the actual foam can. I washed that, I think it was on Wednesday, and I made the video for you guys. It took me like, I don't know, 15 minutes max to wash it and dry it off. The Type R will take me 30 to 40 minutes because there's so many damn cracks. The wheels take forever to clean in these. It's a pain in the butt to clean this thing. That's about it. Call it 915 to Bex Wax. The problem is, Josh, I think he was talking about over the counter what he'd get at Walmart. And I really want to help somebody that asking about Walmart stuff. Can't even get a plant tree. That sucks. No, it's not that, Aaron. What happened is we had the big palm trees, and you'll see my videos a lot of times. You'll see the big palm trees. Well, one of them died. They had what they call tree rot or whatever, and they die. Palm trees are very susceptible to this versus like oak trees or pine trees. And it died, and the very next week we got written up for needing to have it cut down. And so I was like, dear God in heaven. So that was cut down, but it cost $300 to cut that bad boy down, and it's just the way it goes, Last year there was one right here outside the door, right here. There was one we had to cut down last year. And then this year, the one that's right next to the house in this corner of the garage got cut down. So we've had to cut down 2 palm trees in the last 2 years. They're dirty ass trees. You guys should see it, man. Some days I'll come out and there'll be a damn dead palm frond that fell off the tree that's laying on top of the Prelude or something. And I'm like, oh my God. They'll be all over once about 10, 11 months goes by. Palm trees, the fronds just die and they sit on the side of the tree and they just fall off whenever it gets a bad windy day. And they're all over your yard. And they're just really dirty trees. So just these one by one we've been cutting down. Whenever they die, I'm just like, I'm not replacing them. We just cut them down and we get rid of them. Remember when you wanted the old model Lexus GX and mod it? I was going to get one of those things, but then again, I couldn't find one. I was waiting, and the wife got behind me. What happened, Cody? The wife got behind me, and she's like, yeah, go ahead and get the Civic Type R. And I was like, fuck an old car. Let's get a brand new car, and that's why I bought the Civic Type R. I love the Civic Type R. I've got no issues with it. Obviously, it's a beautiful car. It's a beautiful color. I get so many compliments from it. It's funny, I'm always the one that takes my son to school every morning. I'm the one that takes him home from school, picks him up in the afternoon, and I'm always switching out cars. And we were at a birthday party the other day for one of my son's friends at his school. And the moms were all talking to me. Oh, which car are you bringing today? Oh, we always know you from that blue car. That blue car is so pretty. Oh, and I'm like, so are you hollering at me? Or, it's funny because you'll have a lot of that stuff, and they're like, oh, how many cars do you have? And I'm like, a lot. We have a lot of cars, and I have motorcycles too. They're like, oh, and I'm like, it's just what happens. I keep buying cars, and they're like, wow. And I'm like, okay, gold diggers, get away. Pretty funny. But no, it's the funniest thing. They always comment on the blue car. They all know the Civic Type R. They always want to ask about it. And I'm like, yeah, that's just one. They're like, are all these cars yours? And I'm like, yeah, they're all mine. And they're like, wow. Even my son's teacher wanted to know what kind of car this was. She was wondering about it. She's like, what kind of car is that? I keep seeing it. I'm wondering what it is. And I'm like, it's a Civic? She's like, that's a Civic? I'm like, yeah, it's a Civic Type R. Very rare. And I told her 36,000. She's like, wow. She's like, I didn't know what it was. She's like, I've been wondering and all. I'm like, okay. But it's pretty funny. Everybody likes a Civic, so I like it. That's wireless wash. If you can find the McGuire's wireless wash, I have it over here. It's old bottle, but I do have it. I like that, and I do like the Turtle Wax wireless wash. I'm not the biggest fan of the Chemical Guys Turtle wireless wash, but with these other ones I am. Where did it go? I have it somewhere. Bear with me, guys. Oh, yeah, here it is. Man, you guys can really see my garage a lot brighter now. This is an old bottle, but it's the same thing. Ultimate Wireless Wash and Wax. This is what I really like. I would highly recommend this. It's easy to get at Walmart. It's about $9 or $10 for this stuff. It'll get you about 3 washes out of it before it's all gone. 2 to 3 washes. You won't get more than that just because you wouldn't want to put enough spray down so that way you're not dragging that dirt through, you know what I mean, and scratching it. How are the new lights? They are amazing. And hopefully you guys can see them through here. So basically, they all daisy chain together, which is what I really liked about these different lights. They all daisy chain together, kind of like Christmas lights, and they were $27 a piece. They're 4 foot long. They go from 5,000 lumens to 3,000 to 1,500. Obviously, I'm going to leave them all at 5,000. I want the brightest I can get inside the house, and that's generally what I do. I leave them all, and so it cost me $200 and something for all the lights. They're easy to hang up. They go through like one screw on each side of the ceiling. I don't know if you guys are probably never going to see that. There's one screw on each side of the ceiling, and it just has a hook, and then you just put the chain through the hook, and that's it. So whenever I want to move, I just take the chains off, unscrew the screw out of the ceiling, and I'm done. I don't have to, it's not a permanent. These aren't permanent where I have to leave them up there. It's like they're good enough for what they are now, and then when I decide to move later on, they pop right out of the ceiling, and I just take them with me. And that's what I generally like about that. Ooh, I hear with Evo in 2008 and the Sturo start by became intoxicating for the stock versus the car. Now, I will tell you, Valiant, I liked the HKS Legamax exhaust for the Civic Type R. I was thinking about getting one, and then I decided, you know what, I didn't need a faster car. I already have a fast GTR. I like how it's kind of subtle, where it's not too loud. And at the time, this is what was going through my brain, is that I had 2 car payments. I had to get rid of one of the car payments as fast as I could. That was kind of the agreement with my wife. She's like, as long as you can make the payments, that's fine. And I had the money, so I bought the thing. I just cut down how much I was paying each month. So I really wanted to pay off the GTR before I would spend any money on the Civic Type R. So generally, that's what I did. I actually went from paying $2,000 a month on the GTR I cut it down to $1,300 a month on this, and I was paying $700 a month on the Type R. Now that this will be paid off this month's last payment, when it's at the end of the month is due, I'll pay that off, and then I'll start paying $2,000 a month on the Civic Type R and start dumping this and get rid of this debt off of my shoulders. Once this debt's gone, other than looking at a plane, like a used plane from back in like the 60s or 70s is in really good shape. For me to fly, that's like $40,000 or $50,000 for me to be a personal family plane. I have no dreams to be buying any new vehicles anytime soon. It'll be a long time before I buy another vehicle. There's just no reason when we have the family mover being the minivan. I've got 2 motorcycles. I've got my super sports car, GTR. I've got my 4-door family car, which is my Civic Type R. And I've got my 2 Preludes I've owned since I was in college days. So there's no reason for me to get another vehicle anytime soon. Unless something in the next 2 to 3 years came out, and they were like, oh my God, I have to get that car. There's really nothing for me to buy anymore. So that's what I'm trying to do. So hopefully that makes sense, getting back to why I don't have money dumping in the Civic Type R. Is because I wanted to pay off the GTR first and get out of debt. You have a Sugar Mama. Sugar Mama pays for the house, but I pay for all my cars. All my cars, my motorcycles, everything of this, I paid for myself. My computers, you name it, I paid for it myself. I keep the insurance for the family, help pay the utilities for the family. My health care covers the entire family, so she doesn't have to buy health care for herself. We don't have to pay health care for my son. It's just part of my job benefits, so I get all that. So there's nothing else. So it's like, I also take care of the house. I do the yard. I pay the bills online. I do all the dishes. I do the laundry. I do everything so she doesn't have to. So it has to be kind of a 50-50 split there. Yes, she sometimes will say, well, I make all the money in this house. And I'm like, well, yeah, you make a lot of the money, but you sure shit don't do the other stuff. And that you have to have a 50-50. And, that can sometimes be trying, but you have to go in understanding a relationship like that, look, this person might make more than the other, but the other person has to make up for it in other ways. You know what I mean by that? Like, okay, this person might make a ton of money. Maybe you don't make it as much. Maybe you don't work near as many hours as she does. So now you have to make up for it in other areas. And that's generally what I do. So that way she doesn't have to do any laundry when she gets home. She doesn't have to do any dishes when she gets home. She doesn't have to do anything. I take my son to school. I pick him up. We don't have to worry about babysitters. Nothing. Everything is done for her. So all she has to do is come home and do her doctor's notes, and that's it. So that's the kind of way we split our marriage. And I try and always think about her and make it as easy as I can for her, because if I was in her position, I'd expect the same thing from my wife if my wife was not making near as much as me. Otherwise, it's going to lead to problems, because I wouldn't want a gold digger on me either. Yeah, dude, the vehicles are popping pretty good. I don't know if you can see that, Paul. They're really, really going off pretty good. I've got the here. Actually, I just washed the motorcycle as well. So after I washed GTR, I was in a washing day. I went ahead and washed the motorcycle down. For anybody somebody was asking earlier, ceramic wet wax. I actually sprayed this over the entire bike before I dried it. I put the new ceramic wet wax over it to give it an extra layer. I have noticed that every time I keep the bike really waxed, it doesn't get near as dirty, as well as especially in the front where you pick up all the bugs and dirt and debris. It's really easy to get the bugs and stuff off, which is really nice because you know how bugs just kind of cake themselves on. And I'll be real with you, I don't wash the motorcycle as much because I only ride it 2 days a week, maybe to work, maybe just 1 day a week I get to take it. So I don't put near as many miles on the motorcycle as I used to when I was before I had my son. Before I had my son, I used to ride 5 days a week. There, I didn't even drive any of my vehicles. All I did was drive the motorcycle every day. I would take the motorcycle. It's fast, it's quick. I can get through traffic so much faster, and it's just exhilarating being on a motorcycle. If you've never been on one, it's some of the best experiences that you're ever going to have. The wind's in your face, or at least on your body, because you have a helmet on. But it's awesome. I love that. Is wifey still messy? Yes, she is really, really messy. Dang, gonna buy a plane? Yeah, I'll be buying a plane probably sometime next year, Cody, after I get my license. I like to get my license done out of the way, and I like to get my instrument rating out of the way. So in order to be a commercial pilot, you have to have your instrument rating. Instrument rating allows you to fly through the clouds, okay? If you can't see the ground, how are you gonna land? Well, you have to have the instrument rating because you have to have instruments in the plane that can read the radio signals being shot out from, let's say, the airport, which guides you into the airport, that exact airport. So then you kind of follow. There's a little. Every airport has its own little diagram of how to do it, and at this far out you should be at this distance off the ground. This far out you should be this distance until you can actually see the ground. You get underneath the cloud layer if it's a nasty day or whatever, and then if you get too low and you still can't see the airport, then you're instructed to basically do a wave off and just basically take off, hit the gas and get up above the air again. And basically that's what happens. So once I get those two out of my way is when I'll be looking at actually buying my own plane, because from then on out, it's about building hours. And so it's just like, you got to build the hours somehow. Well, what's one of the ways you build the hours? Fly a lot. So instead of me spending $150, I'll be real with you, it's about $130 an hour to run a plane. And then you have, if you wanted to have an instructor with you, then you're paying him $50 an hour. So it's $180 an hour to be in training right now for me. So instead of throwing all that money away, when a payment for a used plane from like the 60s or 70s is maybe like $600, $700 a month, it's like, so I'm sorry about that, Reconnected. I'd rather buy the plane and own it myself and not have to let anybody else get rich off of me renting the plane. Yeah, I'll have to pay for my own maintenance, but over time, it's going to be no big deal because the plane will be mine and paid off. 911 GT3. Hey, Andy, how you doing, man? What's your favorite motorsport? I don't really watch a lot of motorsports. I got to be real with you. I'm not a NASCAR guy by any means. I've seen some motorcycle races. I've seen some like F1 style races, but I guess I don't know. I get kind of bored. You know how people say some people say they don't like baseball because they say baseball is too boring. And in a way, that's the way I kind of feel about a lot of motorsports. You just see the same going around and around and around. And it's like, I can handle this for 5 or 10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. But after that, I'm like, all right, what else is going on? And then I usually leave. Wasn't being rude, Chad. You have to say she's messy. No. I'm not. I don't take it as offense. That's just Cody asking questions like Cody always does. iPhone. Don't worry about it. No, my wife's messy as shit. Everybody knows that. If I take you into our house right now, you'd be like, holy crap, it's a dump. It's just that my wife won't clean up, and you don't dare ask her to clean up because my wife I make all the money, and this is my house, and blah blah blah. And it's a nuclear bomb ready to go off if you dare ask her to clean up. So it's not worth it. You know what I mean? Like, I try to contain her mess to the master bedroom and then her closet. For the most part, I try to keep this side of the house pretty cleaned up, and especially upstairs. So upstairs is where I'm generally at. It's where my computer is, the big TV's at, the 2 extra bedrooms, the 2 bathrooms are upstairs. So I usually am up there. That's where I'm always at making the videos or just surfing the internet. I'm not downstairs. I try and keep that area pretty damn straight up there. The bathrooms and everything nice. So if anybody came over, they'd be like, oh, decent house. Is it like spit perfect? No, it's not. But a lot better than down in the master bedroom going that way. What are the requirements to be a commercial airline pilot, like physical? Physical, you have to get a physical like at that level every single year. That's actually one of the FAA questions. So you have to have I think it's a Class A medical license. Either way, I got the Class A. So it only lasts for like 12 months. And then after that, it reverts to a Class B, which will last then up to whatever, another year or two later on. In order to be commercial, you have every 12 months, you have to have that physical, that stupid physical. It's dumb. Read the eye exam and all that stuff. That's typical basic crap. But then it's they put the EKG machine on you. These little sticky things on you that measure your blood and heart and all that crap. You have to have that done every year. But in order to be a private pilot, you don't have to have all that. You can get like a Class B or Class C license. But if you want to be commercial, it's that. You have to be instrument rated. You have to be multi-engine rated, which usually they'll pay for themselves. If you get signed on and you don't have that rating yet, they'll send you to one of their instructors and they pay for it all. But I'll probably get that beforehand. Then you have to get commercial license, which, it's only like 8 hours of flying in a plane, and you have to learn the commercial maneuvers and stuff like that. After that, generally, I think all you really have to have is 1,500 flight hours, and then you can apply for a commercial airline job. Normally, you'll start at one of the smaller, like regional airlines that works for, let's say, United, American, or one of those other ones. It's a commuter plane that has American Airlines on the back tail, but on the small end, it says operated by this company, like Embraer or whatever. It says it's operated by. That's actually the company you're working for. You're not working for American Airlines. They just subcontract out Embraer or one of these companies for you to fly their customers from the big city to a little tiny town or something like that. Generally, that's all you do. Cody, where's one for me, bud? Happy wife, happy life. Even if you try and make her happy, sometimes she's not happy. That's just the way she is. I love the drama in the comments. Doing anything for Thanksgiving? I'm going to fly to Illinois to visit my dad. I'll be up there. I think I'm flying out either Wednesday or Thursday. My wife is taking my son to go to her family's house, and then the agreement I told her is, I'm like, look, you have to have 50-50. Again, it comes back 50-50. This is marital issues 101. So learn if you guys aren't married, or if you are, you probably know this already. So what I told her is, I was like, all right, for Thanksgiving, you go visit your family, and you take Nathan. But for Christmas, Nathan's coming with me, and we're going to Illinois to visit my dad. So that way, 50% of the time with them, 50% with my dad, because my dad lives in Illinois. He doesn't come down here but maybe once a year. Where you're always in Jacksonville. Like last weekend, she was in Jacksonville. This weekend, she's here. Next weekend, we're in Jacksonville for a wedding. The following weekend after that, she's in Thanksgiving in Jacksonville. So she's always with mom and dad, her mom and dad. But my son never gets to see my dad. It's very rare. And I don't speak to my mom anymore. So it's just like one of those things like, okay, you have one holiday, I get one holiday, that kind of thing. That's what you got to do. I'm in Chicago. Let's hit the bars. I think I said beers. The Bears. I was like, we're gonna hit the Bears? What? Sorry, my brain must be dead. You're in Chicago. Yeah, Turtle Wax is in Chicago. Well, actually, they're in Addison, Illinois. 303 is actually in Chicago though itself. So if you ever want to go check out those places, they're both actually in Chicago. Yeah, we had a girl supervisor come down from Chicago. She had that nasally, voicey accent from Chicago. From Chicago. And you'd hear that all the time when she spoke. That was pretty crazy. But yeah, I will be up there something. I don't know when. I usually take Frontier when flying to Bloomington. And then I take a rental car and I drive over to Champaign because it's cheaper than flying into Champaign. Flying into Champaign is just stupid. In a new video, Aaron, I have been waiting the last 4 days for the sun to come back out. It's been nasty here. I have been wanting, for the love of God, where's that here, to do this video right here. The spray. But it has been so damn overcast that it'll be just nasty, like all cloudy and stuff. That's why it's cold. We had a cold front come through, and we went from like 80 degrees down to it's 52 degrees right now, or 50 degrees right now. So that's why I haven't been able to do it, because it's been cloudy every day. And I'm like, I'm not going to make a video on a cloudy day. That's ridiculous. Cool, Chicago. You got to get a Chicago dog. I heard once again, my brain's like, huh? We're going to get a dog from Chicago? And then I realized you're a hot dog. I know what you're talking about. I used to get a car. I got a new used car, E49 BMW 540M My Sport. Damn it, there's too much, Acc0rd. Just call it one car. I don't understand. Why is it with BMWs they call it the code number plus this, plus this, plus this? I don't understand what it is with BMWs. We got the Civic FK8. We got the whatchamacallit in there, the 2 point whatever cylinder K series engine with this and this. I mean, that's just, I'm like, what? It's a Civic Type R. Or it's the BMW 540i. Okay, I get that. So I don't know. I'm like, whoa. Too much information there. But yeah, it's pretty funny. And Big Plan's trying to make a 600. Woof. Throw that money at me, man. Throw that money. Yeah, you get the M or the AMG. Yeah, when I was out there at the Phoenix and I got to drive that, what was it? The G Wagon, the AMG G Wagon has like 570 horsepower. That thing sounds mean. I wouldn't buy one because it was $168,000. The window sticker was still in the glove box. When they were digging through the car, they actually saw the window sticker, 168,000. I was like, no way. But a lot of rich Hollywood stars like to buy the G Wagon. They want to be cool. Mercedes has EMG, VW has R line. All you need is a GTR. That's all you need, a GTR. High resale value, very rare, super fast, done. You can easily crank these things to well over 1,000 horsepower with stocks without going crazy into the internals and stuff. The guys do it all the time with just a few things here and there. They get to 700 horsepower, just some basic bolt-ons. They're 700 horsepower on these GTRs. And then if you want to go stupid and you want to go 1,000 plus, then you can add another couple grand and you'll be at 1,000 plus horsepower in a GTR. Like you could probably spend, I think it's, I want to say, so what there is a company called, God, what is it called? I don't know. It's a power company. They specialize in GTRs. They're all over the forums. Speed by Design, SPD. Anyways, they have a 1,300. It's SPD 1,300 kit. It comes with everything you need and you will be at 1,300 horsepower with the GTR. And it's like, oh my God, you'll be running like eights in that car or whatever it was. It was sick. They're setting these ridiculous records with these cars. For just so little, a couple $1,000, you could be at 700 horsepower in this. And it's like just a couple thousand. I'm like, dear God, it's ridiculous. But again, I don't drive it that much, so I don't need to bump it up anymore. Yeah, so I heard the Supra is underrated, but that's typical of BMWs. They said BMWs, because we know the Supra is a BMW, is very underrated. They said in reality, the BMW is putting down about 385 horsepower. But you notice every single review on it, everybody just considers them, it's a nice car. But they're not wowed by the car, and that's where they were wrong. Now, we had our friend Michael who likes to come in here and like try and talk trash, and I just blow him off because I don't care. Have you noticed that it just seemed like every company and their brother had the new Supra with some kind of thing on it? It's just like, did you not have any other cars to mod out or anything? It was all it was a Supra. And it kind of felt like Toyota was like, here, have a free Supra on us. Just mod it out and put it out there that it's yours. Like I really you started feeling that way, that all these big companies were being given free Supras as long as that they would mod them out and show them what you could do if you go buy a Supra, to generate more Supra sales. But did you notice that how many Supras were being shown off? It's just they were everywhere. It's like, ugh, really? And I just think Toyota fucked up. How hard was it to make your own Supra? It would have been selling like hotcakes if Toyota would have designed it. But because of BMW, it has already that reputation, and I think that's hurt them significantly. GTR, these things are bulletproof. Remember, these engines are built for way more than they can take. Think about the 2JZ Super engine or the GTR RB26s. This thing is rated at 545 horsepower, but the damn thing on stock internals can push 1,000 horsepower with stock internals. So reliability, no issues whatsoever. These guys are putting these bolt-ons and they're modding E85 and doing that stuff, and they drive them every day. No issues with them. Very, very reliable. It's 100% Japanese made as well. If you notice that, the cars that seem to last forever are always 100% Japanese made. Notice the 4Runner, the Land Cruiser, all still 100% made in Japan. They just last forever. You can't break the damn things. AMS is in West Chicago. Yeah, Speed by Design is in Oklahoma City. They're the really big GTR people. I actually spend time with you. Dad, usually the women only want to spend time with their time. Pooh, what happened is that my parents got divorced. My mom kind of changed a lot. That's usually the way things go. People change, and then things changed. We talked after about a year or two of that, and then everything was fine. And then she met some dude that promised her this world and the sun, and she after that she kind of changed a lot. She wouldn't even listen to me anymore, and I'm like, all right, man, whatever. Well, you take care. And well, you just don't care about me. And I'm like, you know what, whatever. And then she just started, I'm gonna take your kid and all this stuff. I was like, excuse me. So we had a lot of family issues there. And I just told her, I said, you're not welcome down here anymore. And I haven't spoke to her in a couple of years, and I don't want to speak to her anymore. She really went off the deep end, loony bin off top. So my dad is basically the only one left I talked to. And after my grandma died earlier this year, he's basically been all alone in Illinois. So until he decides to move back to Florida again, then he said he's basically by himself at Christmas, by himself at Thanksgiving, the whole 9 yards. And I told her, I was like, look, we got to go up there because, he's all alone. I said, you're always in Jacksonville. I said, like, at least once a month or whatever, you're in Jacksonville. I said, you're always with your family. You're a mommy, you're a daddy's girl all day long. And she's like, well, I don't care. You just don't like your family. I'm like, no. It's like, my family lives way up there. I said, I can't go see them. I said, that's the way it goes. So that's why I tried to say, look, for one, you'll go there, and then the other, my son will come with me. So that's why I'm trying to keep it very civil, where it's like 50-50. But yeah, I want to make sure that there's some family member for him, because right now he's by himself. And so you got to take care of everybody, because eventually when we're old, you want your son to be able to take care of you in case something was ever there. You know what I mean? The car was a flop. Yeah, dude, just go on Auto Trader. I did it the other day. I went on Auto Trader the other day. I just typed in Toyota Supra. There was pages and pages and pages and pages of Supras across the country for sale. Nobody wants them. They're a dud. They're dead on delivery. I'll give you an example. My local dealership wants $10,000 over MSRP. Why would you pay that? There's dealerships already now selling them across the country below MSRP. Good luck ever finding a dealership that's selling a Honda Civic below MSRP. They just don't. It's not going to happen. Finding one that is selling an MSRP is hard enough, but this Supra is already selling it below MSRP, like 54 grand and stuff like that. The demand isn't there. Again, it had so much hate and rhetoric from being a BMW and them not designing it. You already had engines that are bulletproof engines. Hell, they even said they're going to start making components again for the 2JZ engine. They've already came out and said it. Just make another 2JZ, throw that sucker in there and go to town in it. You already have the engine, but they wanted to do this because they will save them money. The stick doesn't matter. When it comes to one of the supercars, the GTR only comes in automatic. If anybody doesn't know, and I still get these questions all the time. Why is your car automatic? Because it only comes in automatic, guys. It's dual clutch. The damn thing shifts faster than me and you could ever shift in our lifetime. That's why they put it in there. So that doesn't bother me. It will be full fun to have an option. You're right about that. But it's not the end of the world. What doesn't break it for me financially? What breaks it for me is that it's not a Toyota. BMW has terrible reliability, where when they do break, they're a hell of expensive. Are you going to go to Toyota and be like, hey, I need that engine part for the 2JZ? Oh, you mean it's a BMW? Oh, it's 3 times more because it's a German part? Oh, okay. I don't want that. I just don't want that. And Japanese parts, cheap, easy to get. They last forever. German car parts, very expensive to fix, and I just can't deal with that. But that's just me. It's one man's opinion. Pretty sure the new Supra didn't have an oil dipstick. I looked at the engine, doesn't have a dipstick, a flop design. As much as you like Supra, would you straight trade your Civic Type R for Supra? No, not at all. They're fine cars, but I wanted a 4-door car that was fun and unique, and I like it the way it is. The Civic Type R is 306 horsepower. The Supra is sold at 330. Yes, it's getting dyno runs around 385. But I mean, the reviews are just showing that it's just kind of boring. Well, when the Type R reviews came out, they were loving them to death. Just shows you what it is. I'm like, oh, well, I got another 2-door coupe. Woo. I didn't want that. So no, I wouldn't sell it. Also, the Honda Civic Type R will last 300,000 miles. Yeah, probably. The funny thing is, if anybody doesn't know, the Civic Type R's engine is actually made in the United States. The transmission is made in Japan, and it is finally assembled in England. I know it's all screwed up. However, in 2022 or 23, they're going to make the next Civic Type R will only be made in the United States. They sell more Type Rs in North America than they do in Europe, so they actually are closing the Swindon, England plant, and it's actually going to be made either United States or Canada. I think it said United States, but I don't know. So it will no longer even be made in England. So it'll just be assembled here in the United States with the engine still, well, we'll see if the transmission's made in the United States as well. Who knows? Is there any other products from Limitless that you highly recommend? I'm planning to purchase the Limitless leather. Dude, their soap is stellar. It is so damn rich, so thick. Foam for days. The foam cannon is stellar, and the foam cannon is so thick. Actually, I had no issues with any of their products. I think you're going to win with all of them. He's talking about Limitless. I don't know where my Limitless stuff is. I think it's in there, but I used their Limitless detailer, which has carnauba wax in it. Really good. What else did I use? I used everything of theirs, and I was highly impressed with everything. So don't feel bad. Try it all. Try whatever you feel like you want to open your wallet for, but I had no issues with any of his stuff, and he's very nice to talk to. I like that. It just feels like some of these companies, you try and talk to them, and you're just kind of like you're just a number. But companies like him, Turtlewex and stuff, they'll sit down and talk with you back and forth forever and a day. One of the examples of the first night we got to Turtlewax's event, it was just me and my wife. We had a babysitter for my son, and they were like, "Here, just sit at any table." There was no assigned sitting or anything like that. Only like the front table was reserved for the actual owners of Turtlewax and their family, direct family, which is totally understandable. You know what I mean? It's just like, hey, it's there. But any other table, you could sit on it, wherever. It was outdoors. It was right on the golf course. Very beautiful evening. So I sat down with some guys. I didn't know who, well, I met one or two of them, like from Auto Geek and somebody else. It didn't matter. And I sat down with me and my wife. We were like saying hi to people. Well, the guy comes down, sits next to me. Hey, he's like, "Hey, Chad, how you doing? Can I sit next to you?" I'm like, "Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead." Yeah, I didn't even know the guy. He's like, "I'm so-and-so. I'm Mike." I'm like, "Oh, yeah. He's the head R&D development guy for Turtlewax." And he talked to me the entire night. The very next night, he came and sat next to me and talked to me. He talked to me on the side after I was trying the products. He wanted to know everything. And I love that he was just taking my ideas, absorbing them, throwing back some ideas back at me, talking about why they design stuff. And I like that. It really means a lot. But Limitless, he's a small guy, small company. He's a fireman by day in New York. And then at night, he does this kind of stuff. And I like that you can talk to people like that. It really means a lot. I've tried to write McGuire's and stuff and ask him questions and do stuff, and it just seems like you get the generic, "Thank you for writing McGuire's, blah, 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 blah," and that's about it. And that's the boring responses you get. Oh, well. I agree. I have a stick Evo and twin clutch from GTI, and twin clutches are fast. I don't disagree about the BMW cost to repair, but not all German cars are alike. VW, the same as a Jap car, the cheapest to repair as any domestic brand, but they aren't as well built, so no thanks. I'm not a big fan of American cars. They're very cheap inside, and I don't like that. I don't like how well they lose their value in like a couple years. The quality isn't there. I know the quality's getting better, but I grew up in the 90s. I saw when cars only lasted 3 years before transmissions would go bad, or the engines would go bad 3 or 4 years. I'm just like, ugh, can't have that. Have one of each. Have an S90 and a Passat. Okay. Any tracks on Dodge, Jeep, Trackhawk. They're fast. They're powerful, but not the biggest American thing. I'll keep saying that over and over, that I think the reliability is not there, to tell you the truth. When you get a Toyota TRD Pro, such as Tacoma, 4Runner, would you get, okay, so I actually, before I got the Civic Type R, I was looking at the 4Runner TRD Pro in the Voodoo Blue, the 2019. And I was all like, "Oh, this is great. I'll take it." And then I saw the MSRP, $49,000. I said, fuck that. No way for a 4Runner. No, even the TRD Tacoma was like 47,000. I said, no way. And that's what right away it was like, I'm done. It literally gave me sticker shock, because at the beginning 4Runners were only like 30 something $1,000, and then I'm like, the limited 4Runner, it was like 43 or 44,000. And meanwhile, the TRD Pro with cloth seats was 49,000. It was like, oh no. And here the Civic Type R was 36,000. Immediately was done. I was done as soon as I heard the price. I was like, okay, thank you so much for your time. And I was like, done. We're getting the Civic Type R. And that's when I started looking for it. So yes, I would have got one. Good night. Got to go to school. Aaron, thanks so much for stopping by. I really appreciate having you here, man. What are your thoughts on the new flop Mustang crap SUV thing? I don't know. Is that Mach-E thing? I don't know. I haven't seen any pictures of it. I just know they were talking about the Mach-E. 49.7, was there a dealer markup? No, they didn't even have one on the lot, Cody. They had the TRD Pro Tacoma, but I didn't like the Tacoma speaker area, because on the door, because you kind of lay your knee against the side of the car when you're driving. Well, right where my knee was hitting the side of the door was the speaker grill. And that was literally like a cheese grater on my knee. I was like, this is annoying as hell after like a 4 or 5 mile drive. And I was like, nope, can't do this. The 4Runner was more my style. I liked it better. And I was like, okay, I'll buy this thing. And then I was like, oh, 49 grand. No thanks. It was a mega turn off. I was like, nope. Then I was done. Would you ever seriously consider Tesla? No. I'm not the biggest fan on it. The Tesla, they have a next door neighbor has a Tesla. I can't imagine how long they're going to last before their batteries go bad, before you have to get a whole new battery pack. And I'm going to guess it's going to be like, what, $5,000 or $10,000 for a battery pack. No thanks right there. Is it really 12 something at night? Holy crap. Wow. It's late. Or you stick to ice. Ice. I don't know what you mean. Thoughts on CarPro C-Quartz UK 3.0. Love that stuff. VM, that is what I have on the Civic Type R. I use it on the top. Part of the van is covered in it because what I do for you guys, what you guys don't see VM, is that when I'm testing out a product, especially when it comes to like waxes or sealants or anything, most of the time you're going to see me test it on the hood. You're not going to see me test it back here. So what I did when I was actually making the videos, when I first got this car, is I ceramic coated most of it. So here's what ceramic coated. The mirrors have ceramic coated. Your pillars are ceramic coated. The roof is completely ceramic coated. And from this point back, just past the back door, everything in the back of the car is ceramic coated. The wing is ceramic coated, and the bumper is ceramic coated. The entire bumper is done. That really helps, especially with the bugs here in Florida. The bugs easily come off. So the entire front bumper, so from here down, where the split is, all the way down, is completely ceramic coated with CarPro. I let it sit an hour, and then I came back and I actually added a second layer, just as they recommend. So I have 2 layers of ceramic coat on the whole part. The only parts that aren't ceramic coated are obviously the hood for testing, and then the doors. Everything else is ceramic coated. On the minivan, I did the whole top of the minivan, the pillars and stuff, and all that stuff. And actually, the back end of the GTR has been ceramic coated as well. The only reason I don't ceramic coat the entire car is because that would kind of be ridiculously cheating. If I tested a product on, you're gonna be like, is beating and cheating great? Of course, it is beating and cheating great. It has CarPro ceramic C quartz on it, so. Love the stuff VM. You cannot go wrong with it. Absolutely love their products. No issues whatsoever. If you are seriously thinking about it, you get the big bottle because the big bottle lasted me more than one car. I'd highly recommend it. Very easy to apply. Very easy to remove. Just wait till it gets a little bit sticky. Wipe it off. You're done. As a matter of fact, see, I've gone through 2 boxes of it. Where is it at? Here it is right here. Come here. See? I actually have it. See? Love this stuff. I always get the giant bottle version because it has the extra stuff in it. I always get the big bottle. It's worth the extra $15. Versus the little tiny bottle. Just get the big one. You're going to love it. Trust me on this one. I use it all the time. The mirrors, especially here, because of the bugs, I always hit the mirrors and stuff. I want to have as much protection as I could. The bumpers, clearly. All your top of the car. It's amazing. I also have Ford Fusion Titanium. I don't like just like a top kind features, but I do like the build even less than a 2002 Passat. Build is top. Oh, okay. That Tacoma seating is just awkward as hell. I couldn't do it. What's up, Scene Creative? What's going on, baby? Do you miss your 370Z? No, Adam. I'll be real with you, Adam. When my friend brought his 370Z over earlier this year, when I tested out Meguiar's, their 3-in-1 wax, I tested it on his car. And I got to drive it for that day. I was driving around. It wasn't me. I was just like, meh, it's fine, but it's not. It didn't do it for me anymore. Does that sound okay? It just didn't do it for me. And I was like, whatever. I don't know. I don't know how much more to explain that way, but I wasn't thrilled with the car at all. And I just kind of was like, I don't know. Do I miss it? No. It was a great car. And if that's all I had, it's fine. It was totally fine. But I was given an opportunity to buy the GTR, and I had to sell the 370Z. And at that point, I hadn't probably driven the 370 in probably 3 months. It was completely covered in dust. I hadn't driven it at all. And I was like, when I had not driven it that long, it was time to sell the car, especially when I had the opportunity. If I sold that car, I would use that as down payment money for GTR, and I took the chance, and I ran away with it. So, no, I don't miss the car at all. I think the car should be driven, or it should be cut in a dust cover. Okay. When it comes to this, I would say if you're using it as a collector's car, I don't mind it being not driven. I totally get it if you don't want to drive it. If you don't drive it more than 100 miles, 200 miles a year, I totally understand. I really do understand. If it's going to be your daily driver or whatever, then drive the hell out of it. It doesn't matter. You know, I'm not scared of driving the Civic Type R. I have over 4,000 miles on it, and I've had it for, 10 months now? I bought the GTR in January of 2017, and I've put almost 5,000 miles on it. Oh, just a hair under 5,000 miles on it in almost 3 years now. So you can see the difference. I put a lot more miles on this. The motorcycles, I didn't give a shit. I put loads of miles on these bikes. I don't care. I don't buy motorcycles because I'm like, I want to keep it for years. I love this thing. I don't care. Motorcycles are cheap, so I just buy them. And that was a big thing. Like this one I bought used for $6,000 cash. I put on, I don't know how many miles are on this bike right now. Let's see, it has 50 miles on it. 16,000. I bought it with 3 or 4,000 miles on it. So I drove the hell out of that. That's pretty good because you don't take bikes on long distance road trips, right? You just go round school, round to work, or, stuff like that. You don't take bikes everywhere. So that's pretty good for me, especially when I have multiple cars. So yeah, I don't care about driving the bikes. The bikes can get tons of stuff. I appreciate it, VM. I appreciate it, man. I love CQ leather treatment. Yeah, a lot of people. I'm telling you, CarPro makes some damn good stuff. CarPro is a Korean company. If anybody didn't know, it's from Korea. They're one of the biggest. One of the first companies that made a true ceramic out there, and some of the easiest ceramic to use. I love their stuff. Highly recommended stuff. Love Acc0rd. As a matter of fact, I have some CarPro stuff here that I just haven't even applied yet. This is the Flyby by Forte. This is for the windshield to make it basically you're going to coat your windshield to make it basically like completely waterproof. Now my cars have turtle wax ice sealant on the windshield, and when it rains here in Florida, the water just falls off. But for a permanent solution, that's what there is. And there's the Deluxe for the wheels. I was actually going to put this on my Civic Type R's wheels, so I don't have to really dig in as much. But I just haven't gotten in there because you got to jack the whole car up and all that shit. And I was like, nah, I can't get motivated to do that much work. 999 Cody, Jesus Christ. Don't let Cody get to you. This is what he ever does, man. Don't ever let him get to you. Next time I want your pointless opinion, I'll ask. I'm sorry. Don't ask me anymore. Auto detail. What type of car blower do you recommend? Or car blower? I tell you what, auto detail, I always used to use the waffle leaf towels. However, I have used my grass weed blower on my car before, but the damn thing was so loud. It was annoying because you're putting it up here, the thing's near your ears, and it was so loud and annoying. I couldn't see myself as using it. When things get too loud or whatever, to me it drives me nuts. Okay, that's just a weird thing to say, but maybe my ears are more sensitive to stuff like that. So when things are really loud, I just can't handle it. So, example, we were going to an Olive Garden tonight, and they put us by this table with a huge group of family, right? And they're very loud people. Okay. And I just asked, I said, can we be moved? I said, I just can't be near that. And, it ruins the nice dining experience when people are all loud, yelling and laughing and stuff like that. It's just, you can't have a conversation because this table over here is essentially yelling and screaming the whole time. I said, I just don't want to be near that. So I don't use blowers on my cars. I just actually use the waffle weave towels. I have about 5 of them. So I just go from that way. And that's how I quickly drive my cars. I'm always scared of using a leaf blower near the paint. Like I'll bump it. No, you don't bump it. I mean, my leaf blower, the extension, like where the tube is like what, 3 feet long. So it's easy to control that. So it's no big deal. But I can't hear that loud noise. Maybe with my shooting ear protection on from when you go shooting. But who really wants to put those things on just to drive your car when I can just pull out my waffle weave towels? Like, look, here's one hanging right in here. And I just dry down the car really quick. I've got, like I said, 5 of those. I got 3 of the gray ones, 2 of the ones from Guerrero's Garage. I dry it off really quick and I'm done. I usually pull it back in the garage so it's nice and out of the sun. Olive Garden, sorry, unsubscribes, goes and dies. I'm sorry, unsubscribe. You do know Olive Garden is a Darden restaurant. You know Darden restaurant chain is based here in Orlando? Their Darden headquarters and their main distribution thing is literally probably 5 to 10 minutes away from my job. It literally is right down the street. It's pretty funny. So they own like 8 different restaurant chains. So Darden is the parent company of them. But yeah, I love Italian food. How would you, what the hell? Oh, you're talking about somebody else. I wear ear protection while using blower. And that's what I'm talking about, EF. I don't want to have to use ear protection when I'm using a blower. I just want to be able to put it off. Again, loud noises drive me nuts after a while. It's just too much. It maybe overwhelms me. I don't like it. I'm just like, oh, don't want to be near all. When people are super loud, annoying and stuff like that, I'm just like, whoa, too much. Got to go away. Thank you very much. I'm clearly getting old, but even when I was younger, I didn't like all that stuff. I'd rather be out where it's peaceful and quiet, and that was just generally me. Recently, I was telling you guys earlier that I've been watching a lot of videos on Land Cruisers, like buying an old used Land Cruiser, maybe 10, 15 years old, and then going on these mountainous trails out west, Colorado, Montana, and stuff like that, out in the mountains where it's really peaceful and quiet. I love that. When we go to Alaska, on those cruises, I've been to Alaska 3 times now. It is so pretty, so peaceful out there. There's not many people out there. Like even going to like Juneau, Alaska. Juneau, Alaska is like, I think 60,000 people is all that live in Juneau, Alaska. I mean, 60,000 people is nothing for most of us. 60,000 is nothing. Their biggest city is Anchorage, Alaska, and I think that only has like 180,000 people in it. I mean, the greater Orlando area has 2 million people in it. So going out there, like when you're stopping in, it's just peaceful. You don't hear any noises, nothing. It's just mountains and big evergreen pine trees everywhere. And it's just, I like that. So that's why I'm like, man, I would love to buy like an old Land Cruiser from maybe like the mid 2000s and go on these big adventures with it. I think that'd be a lot of fun. So you're not sinking tons of money into it because Land Cruisers are so expensive, but you know they're reliable as hell. They're made to last for 25 years without having any major breakdowns. So I was like, okay. And I think that would be a lot of fun. So I've been watching a lot of those videos lately. I don't know if the wife would be happy about me buying another vehicle, but I would enjoy that kind of stuff. I think about getting Adam's Polishes air gun seems to be a good one. Also, a Teamster Sport Union. Yeah, where I'm at is it 385? I'm pretty sure it's 385. My brain's kind of like dead right now at the moment. They take the money out of my paycheck every week, and I just don't pay attention to it. I'm like, yeah, whatever. You know, I've only had to use them a few times, and that's about it. So rarely do I use them, and I just am pretty much quiet about stuff. I'm like, just don't bother me. I won't bother you. That's the way I've always felt when it comes to work. As long as the management doesn't harass me, I don't give a crap what happens. Go kill somebody, whatever, but I just don't harass me, and that's how I feel about stuff at work. I see the little handheld leaf blowers. I thought about getting one to blow off the mirrors. You know what I do? I just use my mouth. I give it a nice blow job iPhone, and that's it. I just, like for the mirrors, I just put my lips around and go, and I'll watch the water drip out. What I like to do is I open the door, especially with the GTR. So the GTR is a frameless door, if you guys didn't know. So when you open the door, the windows automatically go down a little bit. Same with the 370Z because there's no frame on it. So when you shut the door, then the windows go back up again, okay? Up into their slot. So that way the glass doesn't break. Well, when you do that, there's always like a line right at the very bottom where the water gets on there because, of course, the windows goes down into the track some. And then when it comes back up, it has little streaks of water so you can dry it. So what I normally do is I just open the doors and I kind of just shut the doors once or twice. And it knocks all the water loose out of the windows, out of the mirrors, out of the door handles, everything. And then I come back and actually dry it off because then I'm like, okay, now it's not going to be dripping anymore because most of the water is gone now. I use air compressor at my local car wash. Peace, love, Four Rivers in the back. What? Oh, yeah, you see that, Matthew? So when I was so for anybody who doesn't know, that's whatchamacallit. That's a local like barbecue place here. I've only been to it like 2 or 3 times. And they gave away these magnet things. Say it's a magnet. These are all like magnets up here. And I just stuck it to the actual thing. So SeaWorld pass member there, obviously. Disney World's old annual pass member, they don't look like that anymore. And then Universal's annual pass. So because we have season passes to absolutely every park in Florida, and they just send you the magnets and stuff, so it's no big deal. But yeah, I'm surprised, Matthew, that you actually seen that because I'm like, huh? What? I haven't been to Four Rivers in probably a year or 2. I think about yourself when you blow the mirrors. Are you thinking about yourself? You know, once in a while. It's the only way you're ever going to get a blowjob if I'm doing the work. You know what I mean? Once you get married, they just are like, nah, I don't think so anymore. That lesson for all you young men out there. Once you get married, that shit all ends. Every bit of that. So recognize right now. This is an older man telling you now about this stuff. 100% true. So when I was a young man and I was engaged to get married, I had some old men up there in North Florida where I work. We're talking to guys in their 50s and 60s, and they were like, don't do it. Don't do it. Here's why. As soon as you do it, she's going to cut that pussy off in 2 seconds, okay? She's going to tell you no more sex. She's going to do anything anymore for you guys, okay? Damn, were they 100% right. Everything they told me about marriage. These are from 50 and 60-year-old men. So they've been there and they've done that probably multiple times. You know, they've been married once or twice. And everything they said was right. Everything. Women will try and they'll do whatever it takes to get you to marry them. As soon as they are married, they stop every bit of that. Doesn't matter what they do to you, what they do with somebody else in front of you, whatever the freak you're into. As soon as you put that ring on and say, I do, it is over. Every bit of it's over. And they were 100% right. 100% right. That is some real talk right there, y'all. Real talk. 100%. Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. Y'all better understand this stuff real quick because the old men warned me and they told me. So there's an old black driver at work and he's funny as hell, really funny. He told me, he said his grandpa, so he's, you know, his grandpa's probably either long dead by now or whatever. He said his grandpa used to say, you know, the quickest way to have a woman suddenly disabled from the waist down, put a ring on her. This is from probably some probably 90-year-old black guy, I guess, teaching him that. And I was like, oh my God, that's hilarious. But he said it's 100% true. He was married, he went through the same thing, and he left. He was like, I'm out, I'm done. I'm not being this way anymore. And the reason why they all get fat, because they don't have to try anymore. They got your ass now. Once they have 1 or 2 kids, if you're the main breadwinner, they got your ass for 18 years at least. So you understand that. A lot of people, they just don't try. Once they're married, they don't try anymore. And that stuff all ends. You know what I mean? If you find, I don't want to say if you find the right girl, or right guy, it's whatever in your life. You're gonna have to figure that out for yourselves if you're not married already. But understand things change greatly, especially after about the first 6 months to a year in marriage. Everything will change. For men, most guys see that women get fat, especially after they have kids, and they say, well, they don't have time, they don't have time, they don't have time. And it's like, if you really wanted to get skinny, you would have time. But you always see that women get fat. Oh, a lot of them. My wife didn't get fat. She's actually skinnier than when we got married. But other things changed after we got married. They will do everything in their power. You're like fishing with their lure, and that's their lure to get you to get married and say yes. But once they got you, like, oh, I got you, bitch. I don't have to go fishing you out anymore because now I got you. And it's the truth, guys. It's the truth. Traditional waxes are dead. They aren't dead. They aren't, though. They're not going to last as long anymore. However, if you want like that show car bright, wet shine for your paint, the only way to get that is like through a good car nickel wax. There's nothing out there that's going to give you that. I'll give you an example. The Car Pro that's on here, my Civic Type R here, it gives a nice, clean, glassy shine to it, but it's not that super deep, rich car nickel wax look. It's like, damn, when you walk by it. The Civic Type, actually, GTR has ice seal and shine on it. Now, ice seal and shine on is made with a high amount of car nickel wax. That thing shines like no freaking other out of the sun. It's ridiculous. And that's what you're going to get from a car nickel wax. So it's going to be what you want. If you like a traditional carbon nickel wax look, then car nickel wax is the only thing that's going to make that happen for you. If you want longevity and you just don't give a flying crap, as long as you get protection, some water beating and sheeting, and you get longevity where you don't have to do it every 3 months or whatever it is for car nickel wax, then that's what you want to go. You want to go the sealant route. Maybe you want to go, maybe you want to spend the money and do a full ceramic coat and never have to worry about it again for the years and years and years. That's what a lot of people are getting into now. They say, well, I got to pay $1,000 up front to have this thing ceramic coated by a professional detailer. That saves me how many hours per month or whatever. I'm done. Let's get it done. And that's what they do. It's everybody wants ease of life. And if it takes you to be easier, that's what they're doing. Quickest way to break up, move in together. We didn't move in together. We got married. So she lived in South Georgia and I was in Pensacola, Florida. She would come to Pensacola once every 3 or 4 months, maybe. I would go to Albany, Georgia about once every month. And that's generally the way I did. You definitely, from personal experience, things are definitely hidden from when you do get married, obviously. She doesn't show you everything, you know what I'm saying? Until you actually get married, you're like, oh, and that's the way it is. Like, she generally kept her house pretty clean when I was around. There was a little bit of messy stuff in one bedroom, which was a spare bedroom where the clothes was. But other than that, it was really kept pretty damn clean inside her house. Now, the house is really, really messy, but you don't dare say anything to her because she's like, I'm paying for this house and blah, blah, blah. And it just starts too much drama. And if you want to have a marriage last, then you have got to learn to hold your tongue. I know that, and most of you guys know that as well. If you want to end a marriage, you just start shit like that up, and you won't be married very long. So you got to learn when to hold your mouth. Manipulation Destination 1, like makeup chameleons. Yeah, have you ever seen any of those videos? Those are funny when you have this really ugly girl, and then suddenly she puts on this mirror. So these are the Asian ones too, the Asian girls. And then suddenly they're like, damn, you look pretty good. It's crazy, and that stuff. Yeah, it's true. Most people do stay together because of kids. Once you have kids, a lot of people feel like they have to stay. Have you ever noticed that as soon as those kids get 18, 19 years old, the parents split up? My mom left when I was in college. She's like, you know what? I can't do it anymore. I want to find somebody else. And she left. She up and left. There was no warning given. She actually showed up. I remember this. I was probably about 22, 23. So I was old enough to be on my own. They're no big deal. I had lived on my own already before, so it was no big deal. I was living with my parents again because I decided to go back and finish college. But I remember my mom coming home and she just said, I'm moving up to New York, upstate New York with your aunt. And she has an apartment she's going to rent to me. My aunt owned a couple of places, and then she would rent it out to her for very dirt cheap. And so she's like, I'm leaving. You can come with me to New York or you want, or you can stay here, or you can move in with your dad, whatever you want, but I'm leaving. And that was basically it. That's the way I found out. And I'm like, Oh, okay. She's like, you've known it hasn't been working for a while now. You're old enough to be on your own. You don't need me anymore. So I'm leaving. So it's your decision what you want to do. And that was the way it was. One of my best friends, I remember this to this day. His mom and dad split up. Well, they were waiting for his youngest sister to get out of high school. So for the last couple of years, his dad actually paid the mortgage on the house and paid all the bills, and he moved out and he had his own place somewhere else and on the other side of town. And then just once his daughter was like, let's say like 18, 19 or 20, they filed for divorce finally, and that was the way it went down. And since then they both remarried, and now it's just the way it goes. But you're right, you're 100% right. People stay together usually for the kids, and then once the kids are old enough to be on their own, then they leave. So you are right about that. I've seen that personally in my own life. I've seen it with my friends' families. They just wait until the kids are old enough, because let's face it, if not, usually the guy gets fucking screwed, and that's the way it goes. That's real talk right there. You need a side piece that wants to get mad. Oh yeah, sure. That would work out great. My ass would be out in here in a heartbeat. That would suck. So yeah, that would be retarded right there. Sadly, today we don't have those kind of relationships out there. You can do that kind of stuff, but that's the way we are. No big deal. How long did you date her before you put the ring on her? 6 years. It was long distance for 6 years, completely long distance. We never lived in the same city. She was in Miami when we first started dating. She started doing her clinicals, and she finished up all her clinicals, the rest of the ones she had to do up in Atlanta. So I'd drive to Atlanta, Georgia once a month. Then let's see. Then she went to Albany, Georgia for her residency. She was a resident doctor. Then she did that for 3 years in Albany, and then we got married after that. So it was 6 years total beforehand. Yeah, no. We can talk about anything you want, Valiant. Anything that's within the rules. You know what I mean? You can talk about whatever you want here. We have fun here because, again, if we're all here in my garage and you guys are all hanging with me, we're all washing cars together, usually talk's going to be like that. We're all not going to talk about the same thing. You're not all going to talk about stuff. Everybody's going to talk about whatever happens in their life, whatever's going on in the real world. And that's the way it generally is. You know what I mean? That's how we do it here on my channel. Again, I will always promote the fact that I am not trying to be like any other YouTuber. I don't care about meeting the other the guys. I don't try and compete with them. I don't try and have more subscribers than them. I know they've got more than me, and I just don't mind. It doesn't matter to me. My life, my channel is mine, and I get it to be what I want and how I want it to be. And I don't have to just concentrate on one thing. These live hangouts are like we're all in the driveway hanging out, washing cars together. Like when I was a kid, my best friend, the one I was telling you about just earlier, who his dad moved out, he was right down the street from me. And we always used to wash cars together. Once we hit high school, we both had our first cars together. I had a Chevy Beretta. Actually, my first car was a Hyundai Excel. And then I bought my first car with Chevy Beretta when I was 17 with my own money. And he would either go to my driveway or I'd go to his driveway because he had a lot more stuff to clean with. And we would wash cars in the same driveway side by side. We would just hang out and talk about stuff. It was no big deal because we were both going to wash them. It was usually a Friday or Saturday, and we'd all wash the cars. And that was way, I mean, he had like the dirt extractors and everything. He spent the big money on his stuff because he was just he's so like ridiculous. I remember he's so anal. Like he'd buy a second set of floor mats to put over his floor mats. Okay. This is how he is over his stock floor mats. He would buy a second set just to put over it so that you wouldn't ruin his stock floor mats. And then on top of that, like you would have to take your shoes off when you got in his new car. I still remember that. Girls and everybody would freak out because I don't want to take off my shoes. He's like, you're going to take off my shoes. You're not going to get in my car. It was really funny. Now I don't think he says that way as much, but it was pretty funny. But I remember one time we went out to the club or something like that, and he was just drunk. And he said, Chad, you have to drive me home. He's like, I can't drive. He had a brand new Civic or something like that. And he's like, I just can't drive. He's like, you're the only person I've ever let drive this car. He's like, I trust you that much. And yeah, that means a lot when somebody says they trust you that much. He's like, you're the only person that's ever driven my car. And that was actually really cool. So, but yeah, this guy goes over the top. His house, you go into his house and it's just like spotless. And you're like, damn, you killed my wife because she's so messy. But it was pretty funny. But that's what we talk. We just talk about whatever crap was coming along that day. And I like that kind of stuff. Floor mats over floor mats. Dude, he was crazy. A lot of times he would actually take the original floor mats out, put them in the trunk, and then he'd get those Walmart cheap floor mats and just throw them in the actual car. And that's what he would do. He would have always extra towels in the trunk in case you were dirty or you went out and played basketball and everybody's going to ride in his car. He put the towels over the seats so that way, keep the seats nice and clean. Yeah. But, everybody's different and that's cool. That's his personality. I like that.
I got one in my parents' neighborhood back in the day. Had a new BMW M6 and M5, and holy hell, he made the first cars. 1997. Whoa! I used to put trash bags over my seats. I can tell you right now, the work trucks. I'll tell you what right now. The work trucks are the sliding doors in them and stuff like that. Delivery trucks. And sometimes when it rains, obviously the rain gets all of the seats. The seats are soaked. So I take those. They have plastic delivery bags usually in the back of the trucks, and you will cover the seats with those plastic, like they're essentially clear trash bags, basically. And I have to put them all over the seats because if you sit down on those seats, you're going to be soaking wet. I've done that once, twice, forgetting that the seats could be wet from that day. And now you're soaked all the way to your underwear and everything. You're soaked because you sat down in the big old puddle of this seat that was soaking wet. So now, whenever it's a rain day, I put my hand on the seat first. Is it wet? If it's wet, then I grab one of the plastic bags and do it. And then you always remember to shut the doors so that no more rain gets onto it. But I've learned my lesson before about the covering it up. iPhone's like, I'm gonna kill you, Cody. That's pretty funny, man. It's pretty funny. Oh, here's the stuff. I was looking for this earlier. The Meguiar's Ultimate Fast Finish. I love this stuff. You guys never tried this back in the day. This stuff's great. You can't find this in stores anymore, but they do still sell it. Basically, it's a full year of it's like paint sealant. You spray on there. It's amazing, but spray on aerosol. Absolutely love this stuff. It's so much better than that ceramic hybrid wax crap. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Oh, here's my wax god soap. Somebody was asking about that earlier as well, by the way. Somebody was asking about that. I love this stuff. What is it? 1 ounce per gallon. So it's 1 ounce per gallon. As long as you follow this, buddy, you're going to have a good time. This stuff, as you can see, I'm basically out of it. It's stellar. Somebody was asking about wax gods earlier, and I love this stuff. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I love a good... Oh, dropped. Whoops. Just dropped the top underneath the car, of course. But yeah, I love a good smelling car soap, or any product that is, by the way. And by the way, if you haven't tried any of the new Turtle Wax Hybrid stuff, if you haven't seen them yet, to actually get a try, just wait till you bury your nose in that stuff. It's a mango tropical scent. It is some of the best smell I've smelled in a long time. And the funny thing is, they use the exact same scent across their entire hybrid line. So it doesn't matter if you use the hybrid spray or you use the ceramic spray, whatever. They're all the same smell. It works great. Why does a fast finish leave streaks on black cars? I don't know because I don't have a black car. Top car soaps that I would say, if you're willing to buy it online, would be either Limitless Car Care. Personally, these are personal. Everybody has their own things. I like Limitless Car Care. I like Wax Gods, and I love the Wax Shop. The Wax Shop car wash is stellar. Absolutely stellar. So it's this brand right here. The Wax Shop. I absolutely love this stuff. I get the car soap. This is their spray wax. It's freaking stellar. Absolutely stellar. But I would say that. If you're going to buy it through stores, I love Meguiar's Gold Class. I love Mother's Wash and Wax, and I love Eagle One Nano Wash and Wax. Absolutely mind-blowing. And that's what I don't understand, is that Eagle One Nano Wash and Wax and Mother's Carnival Wash and Wax, they both are super slick, super rich in between your hands, and their suds are ridiculous. Meanwhile, you get the car washes like this that are wash and wax, and that don't suds up very good, and it feels really watered down. So I don't understand why they can't make it, because why can those companies do it and yet Turtle Wax and so many others can't? It should be very easy, and that's what I was talking to him about, Mike, the head of R&D. I'm like, why can't you guys do this? Because he asked me, he's like, what soaps do you like over ours? And I told him, I was like, straight up, I was like, Meguiar's Gold Class, it smokes yours. I like it so much better. It's so much thicker, so much richer. You can always just put it between your fingers, and it feels so slick as ice. The suds last forever. He said suds are easy to do. I'm like, then do it. What the hell, man? I said, look, and I explained it. And no, I didn't say it like that, but I was really nice to him. I'm like, look, it is a mental thing for me. It always has been. When we take bubble baths as a kid, we have soap suds. When you wash your body, whether you're using, let's say, one of those like loofah things, whatever, with the body wash, it suds up, right? It's a mental thing. So when these products don't suds up and there's barely any suds to it, it feels like I'm just washing with water, and it's a mental thing. I know it's washing. I 100% know it's washing. But for me, mentally, it's not. And I explained that to him, and I said, I know that I'm just one man's opinion, but that's the way I feel about it. If it's not sudsing up and it feels straight water in my hands, and I don't feel a nice, slick, rich stuff to it, it feels like it's just watered down product. And I said, I just don't like that. And I said, so he's like, I understand. He's like, I totally understand. I was like, well, now you understand how I feel about it. So I said, why can't you just make a really damn good foam-capable soap that's really rich and sell it under the Turtle Wax Ice line? Just sell it as the Ice line, not as the hybrid solutions. just as the ice line and just sell that. He said, that's a good idea for the future. I said, whatever, I know you might not be able to make it, but I'd like to see that. So these are the things that I worry about, I guess. How's the Preludes? Doing pretty good. I've been driving the white Prelude a lot. As a matter of fact, today I got in the van and I looked in the white Prelude was parked in front, and the back tire is really low, almost flat. So I don't know if I ran over something driving the last couple of weeks, or it's just the cold weather. I got to check on that. What car scent do you use? Black. No, I don't use car scents. To be real with you, I really don't use car scents. I like car scents. They're fun to put in there. As a matter of fact, Masterson's Car Care just sent me 2 of their car scents: the weed smelling car scent and the whiskey smelling car scent. But I haven't tried them out yet. I like the JDM car scent from Chemical Guys. I think it's like a unique scent. But when it comes to scents, it's all personal because your nose smells things differently than mine does. I personally like fruity smells. I like tropical smells a hell of a lot. That's my number one pick, is always tropical smells. It's easiest on the nose for me. It always makes me go, when I smell it. So generally that's what I would put in, but normally I don't put any stuff in my car. Review maker. The thing is, Jonathan, I actually went through it all, and I actually used it on my wife's minivan. And then I used it again when it needed it. See, it's completely gone. So I actually don't have any more left. This stuff is really good. It lasted me on my wife's minivan about 3 months before it was gone. Easy to apply. Damn, smelled amazing in it. But I never got to make a review because when I did it, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to try it out on my own really quick. And I did. And I never made a video. It was one of those cloudy, nasty days that was going to be bad for videos. But I was going to wash my wife's minivan. And then I was like, why don't I just apply it while I'm here? And that's generally how it went down. And it looks stellar. It really does look good. But it only lasted between 2 to 3 months, solid 2 to 3 months before it started wearing off. Besides, the car lasted longer. But either way, that's still longer than the Meguiar's hybrid that was on there before. It was terrible. Eagle One, oh yeah, Eagle One Nano Wash and Wax, love that stuff. As a matter of fact, I just used the last bit of it up the other day when I washed the GTR. I washed the GTR and the motorcycle, and I used the last bit of Eagle One Nano Wash and Wax the other day. So I actually threw the bottle away. If that tells you anything, that's like my 3rd bottle of that. And that, they come in the big 64-ounce bottles. So love that stuff. Someone secure in their sexuality isn't threatened by others besides you aren't trying to type. 303 for the price is the bomb. Oh, no. If you like the spray sealant, their stuff's really good. It always lasted me about 3 months. Their spray sealant is really easy to use. As long as the car is wet, sprayed on there. It lasts just as long as the Rennie Doyle's whatever it is that he just talked about. Easy along us. Did it last as long as the Seal and Shine? No, it never lasted that long. Popeye's chicken sandwich. No, I didn't. What do you think about the Optimum line of products? I have never tried the Optimum line of products, to be truthful with you. What would your wife get after the Sienna? Why would a minivan be for only one kid? All right, Cody. So if you remember, if you're old school enough, if you go back to one of my older videos, we had, what was it, 2014 or 2015? I don't remember. It was something like that. 2014, I think, Hyundai Tucson. The Tucson is a small SUVs that they make. Well, it happened at one Christmas. We were out there, and you have the car seat in the back. Then you have a stroller in the wannabe trunk area of it. And then when we were at Christmas, we actually had to leave Christmas presents behind at my mom's house up in Jacksonville, Florida, because we couldn't put them all in the little thing. We had it everywhere. We had it up near the front seat in between me and her. We had everything stuffed back because we had a suitcase too. We had a suitcase and the stroller. I had 2 suitcases in the stroller in the back, and there was barely any room left. We were like jamming stuff in there because there's no back. Behind the back seat's like, 3-4 feet deep max? There was nothing back there for room. The entire back seat next to my son was completely piled full of Christmas gifts and other crap that we actually had to leave gifts behind. So when we flew up to Illinois that January, we flew up there, and my cousin had a Town and Country. And they said, here, take our Town and Country minivan. We have more than one vehicle. You guys can use this while you're up here in Illinois. So after we drove for those 3 or 4 days, we were like, dude, this thing is nice. There's so much room. We don't have any problems getting any stuff. Let's look at a minivan when we get back to Florida. So as soon as we flew back into Florida, we went to the Toyota and then Honda dealership. We didn't even look at the Chrysler dealership because, American cars, they don't last. They're just crap. So we looked at there, and we test drove them both, and we fell in love with the Sienna. We liked the Sienna SE more. It looked sportier, obviously. Had a more horsepower engine. The seats were far more comfortable than the Honda Odyssey. The Honda Odyssey seats were very hard in comparison. Toyota seats are almost cushy. The second row of the Toyota Sienna can actually slide it forward or all the way back, where the Honda Odyssey, they're locked in place. They can slide side to side, but they can't slide front or back. And that's what I love, because you can put the seat back on the second row of the Sienna and just kick your leg up over your knee and still have tons of room in the second row. It's ridiculous how much room there is. So that's basically why we got the minivan, because we leave the third row down all the entire time. We have 2 strollers in the back there, and we can put 10 different suitcases back there, plus the strollers and everything, and still have more room. And it's far more comfortable than the Tucson ever was. That's why we got the minivan. Love the leather smell, but the real leather is not the chemical crap. That smells like the bug killer to me. Bug killer, geez. V6. No, I can't tell you how many cars I've raced with the Sienna. It's the funniest thing. You have people, you guys know when you have the road where it goes from 2 lanes down to 1 lane. You guys know what I'm talking about. Cannot tell you how many times I've taken the minivan, and you'll be right at the light. You're like, oh, bitch, one of us is going to have to lose here because I'm going to get in front. That's the way it's going to be. You guys all know what I'm talking about. Can't tell you how many times I floored that minivan, and you can beat so many cars in it because it's a 300 horsepower V6. You can smoke at people in that car. It's the funniest thing in the world. People do not expect a minivan to haul ass. And the SE version is the sportier looking version. Obviously, it has the ground effects on it. It has the wing on the little back end of it. And, you know, the different headlights, blacked out headlights and taillights are different. But nobody expects a minivan to be fast. When you have 300 horsepower and you just literally go, whoa, and you're gone. And then you're just sitting there looking at you like, what the fuck just happened? And it's the funniest thing, beating people with the minivan, because they don't expect you. And I've had people what was it? You know the old school Mitsubishi Eclipses? The one guy was flooring it, and I literally left him. He was at full open throttle, and I just pulled away from him like it was nothing. I was like, see ya, and I was gone. And then I put the flashers on, like we won. They pulled up next to us, and he just gave me a thumbs up. I'm like, your little sports car is nothing. You can't keep up with 300 horsepower, boss. Sorry. I know, now we're getting into more stuff. When do you think someone should end a relationship if Pop isn't there anymore? Like, you love the person, but they this is a hard one. This sometimes hits home too. Sometimes I'll be real with you here. When you've exhausted everything you can, and you've done everything, whether it's marriage counseling, whether it's sitting down trying to talk with them, when you're doing everything and they're not trying anymore, and they're not doing anything anymore, I think that's the time where you're going to have to consider breaking it off. It is very hard, but if you're the only one putting effort into the relationship, whether it's marriage, dating, or something like that, and the other person is just using and not doing anything anymore to like do their part of the relationship, I think it's time to consider moving on. That's me personally. Everybody's different. I'm sure marriage counselor are going to tell you one thing, but if you're the only one putting in the effort and the other person is just like, the whole time, and they expect you to do everything and they don't even try anymore, I think there is time to consider going your own direction. That's just my thoughts on it, though. Obviously, if there's kids involved, that changes the entire dynamics, obviously, where it's just a whole thing once you have kids, because kids don't understand as well, and I think that's why so many parents wait, and their marriage was dead for 10, 15 years, but they won't leave the marriage until the kids are out of high school. A lot of dads do that, honestly, because mostly dads don't want to pay child support, and they understand that. I'm sure a lot of you guys came up from a divorced marriage when you were kids or whatever, and I think a lot of parents go through it just because the dads don't want to spend half their paycheck or 3/4 of their paycheck every single week just trying to support this gold-digging hoe that's taking all his money. So it's cheaper for him to either separate or just stay in this dead marriage in order for the kids to be okay. You know what I mean by that? And I know I've had friends like that before, obviously. I'm sure you guys have all been through that, or you have friends the same way. But I think once the other person's not even trying, you suggest, hey, let's go to marriage counseling. Let's talk about stuff, and they constantly blow you off and they don't want to even try. There is times where you might want to start considering leaving that at that point. Now, whether I'm right or wrong, I don't know. It's just one man's opinion here. Does the minivan spin tires? Yes, you could definitely trip the tires in the minivan all day long. Easy. What year is Sienna? 2017. So we've had it, let's see, in January, we'll have had it 3 years already. It's crazy. It has 58,000 miles on it. That thing, we drive the hell out of that thing. She drives 26 miles each way to work. So she runs up that vehicle's at mileage like crazy. On the weekends, like today, we drove all over Orlando with it. We don't even drive my cars. We only drive the minivan. It's the first car out there. It's the easiest car to get in and out of, especially with the car seats, and easiest to just hop in and leave. It's got all the room, so we always take the minivan every weekend. So we have put that thing through every service that Toyota recommends, and they'll say, hey, this is what recommended this. All right, go ahead and do it. And we just spend the money. Whatever the dealership says, they say, hey, it's 50,000 miles. We suggest this needs to be swapped, or this needs to be changed and stuff. Go ahead and do it. Or the brakes are going bad, the tires are going bad. We replaced everything. We don't even question it because we put that is our main family vehicle. And if it was to break down, she would be kind of SOL because she can't drive stick shift and she refuses to drive the GTR. So it would be pretty hard. That minivan is nice, but man, it can take a while to wash it. It's not too bad. You'd be surprised. Unlike the Civic Type R, which has like nooks and crannies everywhere, like here or down here, and there's nooks everywhere through here and stuff. The Sienna doesn't have that. It's like one big wide body, so it's like done, next section, and you zip along. The only thing that's a pain is getting on the roof. So I have to bring the A-frame ladder out to get on the roof, and then I don't know if you can see it down there in the corner. There's like it's like a wash thing on the pole. That's how I clean the roof of it, and that's why I ceramic coated the entire roof of the Sienna, because I'm like, you guys are never going to see it in any video. I don't need to try anything. I just want to have the best protection I can up there so it doesn't flake and go bad, and bugs or anything or bird poop doesn't ruin it. So that's why I ceramic coated that part of the van. Sorry for the Griot's Garage 3-inch polisher. Kevin, I'll be real with you. I have the current 3-inch Griot's Garage, and the thing, if you put any bit of pressure on it, it just stops spinning. So I'm not too impressed by it, okay? I don't know if the power was too weak, something's wrong with it. I've heard people saying the same thing. Is you could put it on my face and it would literally stop spinning. It would just, I'm like, come on. How are you cutting? How are you doing any cutting if I can't even put it on anything and it just stops spinning? It's pointless. So I've only used it a few times. I hate using it. I should have sent it back, but I never did. I just kept it and left it in the garage. So am I excited to use it? No. I would like to try one of the new Flex polishers, the little Flex battery powered one. I think that'd be a lot of fun. But the problem is Flex is German and they're very freaking expensive. Flex polisher, $350, $400. Very, very expensive. So, and I don't use that 3-inch one that much. So it's kind of pointless for me. First car. My first car was a Hyundai Excel. GLS. So it was the fully loaded hatchback version, stick shift. So I had to learn how to drive stick shift car. My parents bought it for me for $800. I sold it 6 months later for $800. I put it out there for $800. I had $800 cash within 1 hour in my hand from somebody driving down the street. We put it at the front of the neighborhood, $800. It was sold an hour or two later. Like I went off to school, college or something that morning. It was like school, and I already had to call that day. Like, hey, I want it right now. Like 2 hours later, and I had to go and meet the guy down the street. And I said, all right, you were the first one to call because I had multiple calls about it for $800. And they said, hey, everything work? I'm like, yeah, everything works on it. And I sold it. He took it for a test drive. He's like $800. Here you go, done. And he didn't even try to negotiate. He was like, done. I said, yeah, I've had about 3 or 4 people that said they were interested in it, but you're the first one that called. So I'll go ahead and you let me know if you want it first. And he offered me $800 cash, and I was like, okay. So what happened was I bought a Chevy Beretta. It was my first car I bought by myself, and I put $1,000 down. Well, my dad fronted the $1,000, and then once I sold my car, I had to owe him the $1,000 back, so I just gave him the $800 cash, and then I paid him $200 out of the next paycheck. And that was my down payment on the Chevy Beretta I bought. And so that was my first car I personally owned, and I had that thing for almost 3 years before somebody hit me, T-boned me, and totaled it. And then I bought my first Honda Accord Coupe, and then I had that one for a couple of years, and I bought another Honda Accord 4-door, and then I went into another car from there. Do you even know what a W8 is from VW, or as a 90 in Volvo, or a Sport View? Oh, you're talking to Cody. Okay. My mother was married 3 times, and my father twice. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's whatever you want to do, man. I don't know. If you're in a bad relationship, then hey, you know what? You're gonna have to make the call. None of us in here are in your footsteps, and we can't decide for you. We could all have our 2 cents opinion on it, but you're gonna have to make that decision. But personally, me, if I'm at the point where I'm doing all the work in the relationship and there's nothing coming back from the other person, and I'm trying and I'm suggesting stuff and they just want to stonewall me, then that means they've already checked out of the relationship a long time ago and it's time to leave. That's the way I see it. If somebody doesn't want to try anymore, they've long checked out of it. They don't care if they're in it or they're not in it anymore. It doesn't bother them. So they're just along for the ride. So at that point, you have to leave. What becomes a problem, and everybody out here will understand this one as, is when you're married, you're now financially tied to each other. That's where a big problem is. Even if you don't have kids, you're financially tied. Let's say you buy a house together. Now you have to figure out who the hell is going to get the house. Or you're going to sell the house outright. You got to divide up all the bills and figure out all this shit. It's messy. Divorces are very messy. That's why I feel honestly so many people aren't getting married anymore because they want the easy out. And if things aren't going right, they can just leave and duck out, So it's like, hey, it's my house. It was my place before you moved in. You need to get the hell out. You have no say in this. I pay all the bills under my name. You can go. And so that's something that, you'll have to find out. But divorces are so messy. And I think it scares a lot of people. Maybe it scares them straight. Maybe they get the idea that, hey, I need to work better on it. But I don't know. BC, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Why did the video slow down recently? One, it was 100 degrees outside every day, and I'm not getting out in the 100-degree sun. Two, I'd already tested out all the 2019 products, so I didn't need to really make any more videos. Three, I started flight school. I'm trying to become a pilot, and it's way more important trying to get through my flight school and do all that properly, because I fly in the morning and then I go to work at night. And when you start spending that kind of money for flight school, it's like buying a whole nother used car. It's ridiculous. They said the average flight school student spends between $12,000 and $15,000. I've already spent $8,000 in flight training. So you see how quickly it's like you've got to really concentrate. And you've really got to work hard at it. I should have my license months ago, but we had some problems with my flight instructor. He changed and went to a different place, so I had to follow him along. So he had a couple weeks off before he started flying with a new company. Had a hurricane scare, so everything didn't go through, and then he was sick for a week. So I should have, if things had stayed the way they were, I was planning on graduating in September. Here is December almost, and I don't have my license. As a matter of fact, I haven't even finished my written exam. That's what I've been studying lately. I don't know if it's the written exam that scares me, being nervous about having to sit down for another exam. I haven't had to take tests in a long time. And knowing that it costs me $150 every time you sit down and take this test has made me a little bit nervous as well. Hell, just bringing out an FAA instructor for your final exam, your ride-along exam, is $600. You fuck that up, that's $600 you're out. So it makes me really nervous having to worry about making sure I have everything right. So when I take these practice quizzes and stuff, I'm always like, damn, I missed a couple of those. I need to take it again. So I'll take it over and over and over until I get 100% on that module. And then I go on to the next module and start watching the videos again and watching the replays of it. And then I start taking the practice tests again and again on that module. And then at the end, you have to go take the full practice exam. So that's basically what I've been doing. And so I've stalled myself, there's no doubt. No more Grom. No, the Grom's inside the house, actually. There's no room in the garage. If you can't tell, there's really not a lot of room in the garage. So I parked the Grom in there with the actual, it's the dining room. I actually park it right next to the dining room table. But it's easy to get in and out of the house, obviously, because it's so light, as you understand. So I just leave the Grom in there. I need to be able to get to these cars. There's really no room here in the front of the garage, obviously. I mean, I did throw away a bunch of crap recently, like a ton of crap. So this whole corner was full of stuff like foam boxes and stuff from my neon signs. I finally decided to cut them all up and throw them all away. So I am starting to make some room. I might bring the Grom back in here and put it back in the corner here, but recently I just haven't been riding. I only get to ride maybe 2 days a week to work if it's not rainy. So I've normally been taking the ZX6R here because it's right here. Oh, I love to get that little flex too. Yes, I know, man. But dude, I saw the prices, I was like, heart attack, like $200. Okay, but because it's German, now it's $400. It's like a BMW. It's like, what's the difference between a BMW and a Ford? Oh, it's German. Now it's twice as much. Oh, I see. You see what I'm saying? That's what gets to me. I'm like, no. I think it's hardly ever 50-50 in relationships. Sometimes it's 70-30. Yeah, sometimes it can be a lot more. It can be like 90-10. Trust me, I know these things, okay? I've been there and done that, okay? So that's real talk right there. When you seem like you're doing 90% of everything and they're doing maybe 10% at most. I have been in that relationship before, and you finally have to tell yourself, it's not working. They don't want to try anymore. So why am I in this? There's got to be better people out there in this world. And eventually you'll find somebody better. And if not, at least you're out of that situation and you're free to do whatever the heck you want to do when you want to do it. And sometimes that is a lot nicer. I know a lot of people that I've stayed single and they're well in their late 30s and they have no intention of getting married because sadly they see how many things, bad relationships go bad, and they don't want to get married, and they straight up say it's not worth it. I'll go out on dates, I'll have fun hookups and stuff like that and for flings, but I do not want to get married, period. And they just want to have a dating fun style, like hook up once in a while, fun relationship at most, and that's about it. Is flight school more investment or a hobby to you? It is an investment because I want to change careers, Cody. I want to be a commercial pilot in the next 3 to 4 years. I want to be flying for an airline, whether it's a small regional airline, and working my way to a big airline or however it would work for me. I don't want to be with my job anymore. I hate going there every single day. Once you get to a job where you hate being there every day, it's time to leave. The problem is I'm in a career job. I'm in a job where I have a pension. I have health care for the entire family for free. I have a high pay scale rate. Obviously, I can afford a lot of toys. And I don't want to leave until I have another job lined up. Financially, we don't need my job, okay? If you guys figure that out. My wife makes well in the 6-figure salary range. So we don't need my money. But the minute you decide to give up that job, that other person has complete control. Whatever they want, they get. And you will lose all freedom. You think you'd be a bitch. You see bitch guys now that their wives tell them what to do. Imagine if that wife is making well in the 6 figures and you're not working. You better believe you're going to be on your hands and knees cleaning and scrubbing all day long or whatever if you're not working. You see what I'm saying? Then everybody else is going to be like, this loser is just gold digging off her. And you get that kind of situation. So I don't want to leave until I already have another job lined up. I don't care that, as an airline pilot, you're only guaranteed something like 80 hours a month starting. That's totally fine because of the pay rate. That's fine. I mean, you're making $45, $50 an hour starting and you're making 80 hours a month, guaranteed. At least you're guaranteed 80. You can get more than 80 a month, but as a reserve pilot, you're only guaranteed 80 hours a month. So you're going to get 80 whether you work or not. But then a lot of times you have the opportunity to work well more than 80. And so it's like, hey, that's fine. 45, 50 bucks an hour. That's totally fine. Still averaging like, 25 bucks an hour. If you're full time, that's still pretty decent money here for Florida. So that's what goes on. And we got more people coming in. This is crazy. This time of night, we still have 30 people on here. I am very thankful I have great subscribers. Please, if you guys haven't shared my channel yet, talk to your friends at work. I cannot tell you how many people at work that I have no idea who they are. I work in a big company, big building with hundreds and hundreds of employees that come up to me and recognize me and say, hey, you're Acc0rd from YouTube, aren't you? I'm like, yes, I am. Like, oh, I know you. I see you, all the time. And I'm like, holy crap. They're like, where's the GTR? Where's this car? Where's that car? And they ask me all the time. I ran into people that I've never seen before, and just keep sharing it up. It's been a lot of fun. Doing this channel it's been a great hobby for me. And that's why I say it's a hobby. There's a lot of other YouTubers out there that this is their job and they have to do this as a job, but I don't have to. I like doing what I do. It's been a lot of fun. Jim says it's even more messy when a couple own a house without being married. Ooh, that is right. If they split, handling the house is a nightmare. Rarely do they have a legal argument. It's really hard. I'll tell you, in our marriage, my wife's name is actually on the loan for this house. My name is not on the loan. My name is on the title for the house in case something were to ever happen to her. But the house is under her name as a loan. My name didn't get put on there. That's the way it went down. So when it came time to when I buy my cars and whatever the hell I want, when they do the credit check, they see my credit is stellar. But when they do the credit check, they're like, well, you don't have a house payment? I was like, no, she pays the house. They're like, oh yeah, you're approved. Because they're like, well, you don't have any expenses? I was like, yeah, I have a student loan. Well, I just paid off the student loan this month, as a matter of fact. I am out of student loan debt. Finally, I had $23,000 in student loan debt when I first left. I've just paid it off this month. I have zero student loan debt. I actually just got the letter in today. It's paid off. The GTR will be paid off this month. So when the banks do your credit, they're like, yeah, you're approved, because I don't have any house, I don't have any rent, nothing. They're like, well, what do you owe? I'm like, the cars. That's all I owe every month. Oh yeah, you pay all your payments. Oh, you got your one credit card and you pay it every month. I'm like, yep. They're like, oh yeah, your credit score is high. Whatever you want. And that's generally the way it goes. So that's the way we split the things. She understands that the house is under her name. So if something was to break up, I know my ass would be out on the street, because she'd be like, I'm the one paying the house, so you better get to stepping. All school nowadays, learning is to learn how to taste. Yes, yeah, they have the practice exam. So iPhone, I'll give you an example. On the online, there's an online prep school that's actually teaches you every single section about being a pilot and the basics of being a pilot, all the stuff you need to learn. At the end, like every bit of the questions on the final exam, the practice final exams that you take before you actually go to sit for your final exam, is actually questions directly from the exam. It'll say right at the top where it was referenced from, what question it is from a random test bank. And so as long as you go through it 20 times and you essentially memorize every answer, when you walk in there for the final exam, it's like, I remember this one, circle. I remember this one, circle. You've already known the answers. However, when you actually call the FA instructor out to give you the final ride along, he actually does a verbal test with you, where he'll ask you things. What about this scenario? What about this? What about this? What about this? And then finally, he does a ride along with you. Just kind of like when you went to driver's ed, it's the same thing. What would you do in this situation? Okay, what do you do here? Now I want you to go do this. They're constantly asking that stuff. Not on YouTube. You have to go. There is a piloting program. So one I use is called Gold Seal. It costs like $200 for the online thing. There is another one called King's School, which is like $400. And they have full videos, everything that shows you, talks about every dynamic about being a pilot, flight, from everything to basics about the flight to everything from cross country, how to get from A to B, and all that crap. So that's the way it goes. Miss the Grom videos. Man, I haven't ridden the Grom in probably 2 months now, man. I rarely get to ride. Having a kid has completely cock-blocked me so hard in more ways than you can ever imagine, okay? If anybody doesn't understand what that means is, you ain't getting no pussy, all right? You have a kid, you ain't getting no pussy. That's the way it goes. Once I had my kid, my wife always sleeps with him, like whether she sleep in his bedroom or in our master bedroom. I sleep upstairs. I don't even sleep in the same bedroom, because he's 3.5 years old and she still sleeps with him. She will. I ask her, would you please put him in his bedroom so we could start sleeping together? And no. He needs to sleep. And I'm like, oh my God. I was like, I was sleeping alone right away, but it's the way she is. It's just the way she is. And it starts more arguments than I can ever imagine, man. I can't tell you. You learn to just keep your mouth shut. You know what I mean? Will you do more ground features? I don't know. I just don't know. Now it's a party. Lizard Lick's in here. BMW is inside. You can disagree about that. Loki, are you talking about your relationship? I've talked about my relationships before. I mean, not saying we have the best relationship in the world. Not saying we have the worst relationship in the world. Here's what I've learned, and you're going to learn, people. If you see anything on Facebook, Instagram, whatever, and they're having the best damn thing in the world, and you're like, my God, that family has it on point. 90% of the time, they probably don't, and they probably have a pretty piss poor marriage, but they're only showing you the good aspects of a marriage, okay? It's just the way it goes. A good marriage is probably not going to talk about it. They're not going to talk about anything. It's just going to be hush-hush, and that's just the way it goes. So have I had the best marriage in the world? No, of course not. Not even close. Have I had the worst one? God, no. No. That would be, there could be, come find out she's banging 20 guys at work or something. I mean, it happens. We all know it happens, so that's the way it goes. Down to 5% power, man. This thing is almost dead. I hear the dumb owls next door. I hear the owls. Whoo. I'd love to get a chance to drive any of the new M models, the small SUV look promising. Commercial pilot. Do you want to do it for a prestige or fun? I've always wanted to fly for a living. I would, if I wouldn't have had glasses or contacts, I would have flown for the military. I would have never. My life would have been totally different. All I wanted to do was fly fighter jets for the military, but obviously with glasses and contacts, they won't let you fly. Drove with BMW X M3. It was a little monster, but stupid monster is a pointless not fun car. I don't know, man. I don't know about that. I drove the SQ5. We were looking at buying an SQ5 before I bought the GTR, and it was a fast thing. But again, do I need that? You've been to Mile High Club. Yeah, I've talked to her about that, and she said that was gross. So no, I don't think so. Not unless I have not unless I'm single or something down the road. You can become a charter pilot. Still, I want to. I've always loved going to the airport, so I want to be a commercial pilot. I'm working, but when I'm free, I'm always come back to where I live. Have you ever heard Ben Mulla in Clearwater, Florida? He's a huge real estate lord. No, I haven't, buddy. Seal and Shine, best sealant. Oh, it's amazing. It's milling. By the way, my phone's almost dead. I've got about 4% battery life. The whole screen just got dark on me, so I know I'm like, it's like telling me it's time's almost up, boys. Time's almost up. So I'm gonna slowly start wrapping this sucker up, at least for this weekend. If you guys want to continue on talking about stuff, we'll do it again next week. And I won't. I know I have to be to a wedding next week, so it'll probably be late Sunday night before I'll do anything again. Why is your name not on the house? My name is on the title for the house, but not on the loan. So the loan is not under my name because at the time she had a much higher credit score than I did. So because of that, the interest rate would be higher if my name was on it. And honestly, she makes more than enough money to qualify for this house. As a matter of fact, she could buy 2 or 3 of these houses at her paycheck. So that's what she did. She just left it under her name to be financially smart. One less thing. Yeah, Pooh, we got one less debt. The GTRs, like I said, payments always do at the end of the month. So this thing will be paid off this month. That was $1,400. I'm like, $1,400, we are paying this sucker off this month. And they'll be gone. So whenever my bills come in for the end of the month, I'll pay that sucker all the way off. And that leaves me with only the Civic Type R left. Yeah, I have my personal credit card from when I was in North Florida, single man still. There's a $5,000 limit on it. I think I got like $3,000 on it. Every time we buy crap offline or my cruises and some flights, I put that on my credit card. So I have that credit card. But other than that, I don't have any more debt besides the Civic Type R. 2 good jobs, good character, and you pay your bills on top. You should have a good credit score. Most auto insurance companies check the credit score. My auto insurance is fine. As a matter of fact, I just paid my motorcycle insurance. So if anybody doesn't know, motorcycle insurance here usually pay it 12 months at a time. So you pay it basically in one block year. So for the ZX6R and the Honda Grom with full coverage, the whole 9 yards, it actually dropped this year. It's like $485 for the entire year for both motorcycles. So I paid it and I just put it on the thing. I was like, done, paid. And that's the way I did it for obvious reasons, because otherwise if you pay it in like whatever, they give you a discount if you pay it in one lump sum. So I was like 12 months and I'll owe it till next November. And I'm like, wow, it went down by like $30 or $40 this year. So I went ahead and paid the whole lump sum. Sorry, on time. They said Instagram is a highlight reel. Facts. I don't sleep in the same room as my partner, and I can't, and I won't. She says I come to bed too late, and then she says I snore once in a while, but basically she just wants to be on her own with my son, so that's always her excuse. So she always will sleep with him only. Time for night. Yeah, I totally understand you, Cheap. Cleanse. My phone's almost dead anyways. I can barely see anything. You just saw this. Well, did you just see that up there? Ooh. Yeah, my phone's almost dead, by the way, Greg. It literally is almost dead. The whole screen is like super dark. Yeah, I've only got a couple percent left. But yeah, see, Greg, I told you it was up there, buddy. What type of doctor is she? She's a family practice doctor. Show the banner. Yeah, see, there you go. Right there. Greg sees it. Matt, please tell me you don't ride without protection. I usually have a condom on every time I go riding. Yeah, I usually do. Got some of the new Carnivore Paste Wax. Yeah, it's upstairs in the box. So Greg sent me a box a couple weeks ago, and I've been trying. I've literally asked, I don't know how many Type R guys locally. I'm like, can I use your Type R to try it out? Because I was going to try his Paste Wax on there. One guy said yes, but every weekend it's always like he's doing something. And I'm like, just let me take your car, and then you can come pick it up when you're done, And he just doesn't trust me. And I'm like, I totally understand. So you can take my Type R to work or whatever. And he just hasn't done it, but I'm trying to line up a Type R so we can try some of the Masterson's Legend Paste Wax on there. That should be a lot of fun. I haven't tried a Paste Wax in a very long time, so I'm actually kind of excited about that. Yeah, I really appreciate that, Greg. It means a lot to me. I've been waiting for it for a couple of years now, so I was very proud to hang it way up there. It's way high up in the ceiling, by the way. It's way over the doors, but I was really proud to get it in. Really thankfully sent me. I really love your note, and I definitely will take pictures. The only way for me to get close to it and actually take a picture, I have to get the ladder back out. So I am going to get the ladder back out, and I'm going to take a picture, and I'm going to post up on Instagram. But yeah, it's definitely hanging on the garage. Now that I cleaned up the whole garage, I was like, I've got to hang that sucker now. Hefty bag. Wax is the bomb. Low key legend. Wax is going to be the best. Yeah, I can't wait to try out the stuff. Again, I haven't tried a paste wax in so long because everybody now is going to like the spray sealants, spray ceramics, whatever. They've gotten away from the hand applied waxes and stuff like that. So I'm really actually excited to actually try it. The last true, I guess, paste wax I've tried was probably the Pinnacle Sovereign. Other than that, everything is just like a liquid paste, liquid wax, or spray ceramic, spray wax, spray sealant. Everything is going that way now. Stay natural. I like the carnauba effect. Carnauba wax give you that nice, rich, thick pop that sealants and ceramics just don't give you. They give you a nice glassy shine, but they don't give you that nice, warm, deep, wet, dripping look to it that a carnauba wax gives you. And I do miss that about it. But I mean, most people just want the simple ease of just spray on and wipe off. And there's tons of great products on the market for you, for those people. Because people are, let's face it, people are lazy naturally, and they just want the ease on and ease off. Paste wax scares me with the plastic trim. As long as you get a high quality wax, you do not have to worry about the trim. Just get a high quality, because those do not stain. The cheaper waxes are the ones that you're going to stain. Greg should come out with a product for removing wax and sealants off trims. Legends has Monton wax, prehistoric carbon wax, only found in Germany, in California. Everything's found in California, isn't it? All the cool people are in California. Yeah, I think 3D's wax uses Monton wax. I know exactly what you're talking about, Greg. As soon as you told me what it was made of, I was like, oh, I've seen that before on 3D Car Care. Of course, 3D Car Care is based in California. Go figure. All the cool people are in California. I get it, Greg. We get it here. We're just not cool over here on the East Coast. Cody, for real, I have peanut butter works. Look it up. What? I've heard of peanut butter works. Never heard of that one before yet, man. Greg, we got to get you to get a neon sign, dude. Seriously, you need to have Masterson's sign in your shop now over there in California. A nice neon sign, man. Bring back the 80s. Bring back the 80s where it was good times, man. Get you a big old neon sign. It'll say Masterson's Car Care with your logo. I think it'd be sick, dude. I love neon signs. I was just thinking about that. That'd be good in your shop. Cody, for real, I'm gonna missed you at SEMA again. Yeah, this year was a little bit crazy. We started having a lot of problems in this house. We spent a lot of money. We're actually now have a credit card through the air conditioner company because we lost one of our air conditioners, and then we have roofing out. They almost finished with it. Are doing part of our roof had to be redone. We literally blew $15,000. Now we're in debt that we have to pay off here in the next couple of months. So a lot of I was actually on vacation this whole past week. Normally, we go on cruises all the time. We had to actually cut out the cruise because normally cruises run $2,000 to $3,000. We just had to say no more cruises this year until we start paying off a lot of this debt, because the air conditioner was $11,000 to be replaced, and then the roofing was about $4,000. So $15,000 essentially in debt that we have to get paid back. So you gotta learn when to say enough's enough. Where's untrim oil back? You should have listed Vaporwave. What you should listen to Vaporwave. Greg, does your company have it? We're just working on compounder polish. Super Dave. We have praying correction, like releasing 2 months. Oh, cool. I got some new stuff. Yeah, Greg, you haven't done any live streams in a very long time. What's been up with you, man? You're just too busy. Don't care about anybody anymore. I remember when you first started that, you were doing all the live streams and you drink all your Herradura. Your liquor, I remember that all the time, and you would do like some killer giveaways, killer deals, and stuff like that. I always thought that was a lot of fun to watch because you would come out of your salesman technique, and you'd just be the regular Greg, and you'd just be having a lot of fun, and you'd hook people up with killer deals and stuff. I thought that was a lot of fun to see the normal Greg, not the Mr. Salesman, you have to be the boss kind of guy. Now you're just the regular Joe, and I always like that kind of stuff when you do that. Multiple quotes from the apes. Yeah, we got multiple quotes. Most of them were between $8,000 and $11,000. If we wanted the higher end one, Cody, the better the seer level of it. So that's why we spent the $11,000 on it. And it's supposed to save us a lot of power because the original one that was in here was 20 years old. So obviously a much better technology and stuff to save power. It's amazing, dude. I'm telling you, I still remember seeing the old Chemical Guys videos with Greg in there, and it was always fun. Craig was the best salesperson Chemical Guys ever had. When they went their own separate ways, I felt like they lost so much without Greg. I don't know. I thought it it made you want to buy everything under the sun the chemical guys made. I mean, that was the kind of feeling you got when you got to watch Kit Gregg's videos through their channel. It was a lot of fun to watch, and I miss those days. You know what I mean? We have two. We have two. So we have one on this side of the house that broke down last year, but it's a small unit, only does the 2 bedroom, 2 bathrooms. The one that does basically the entire house, this side of the house, is a giant one. Sits on this side of the house, and it's what they call a zoning system here, where like you can have the upstairs at totally different temperatures, the downstairs totally different temperatures, the living room over there. So basically, it shuts and opens the vents, and it's a zoning system. So it's a whole new zoning system had to be replaced. The actual tubes that run the different bedrooms, half of those had to be replaced because they were bad. The entire obviously air conditioner handler, well, that had to be obviously they were replaced as part of the air conditioner. So it was $11,800 to have that done. So we're hoping that our electric bills will start going down. Our bill this month was going a lot lower, so we don't know if it was just because the air conditioner wasn't working there for like 2 weeks, or it was maybe it is working and it's just working so damn good that we really are saving that kind of money. So it's kind of like we're hoping so, because normally our bill would run between $300 and $400 a month for electric in this house. In the summer, with the pool running, it would be over $500 a month. So it gets nasty in the summer how much you have to pay for this house. Been traveling. We are traveling to San Francisco to vlog this Friday, an open new store 50 feet across. Ooh, that's dirty, Greg. That is dirty. Oh my God, 50 feet across the street. That's actually pretty hilarious. I just saw the chemical guys had their new Miami store opening today, or was it yesterday? It's pretty crazy though that you're going to put them that close. That's pretty wild. Hopefully you guys are having a lot of fun out there. Do you notice the difference in the AC system yet? That's exactly what I was talking about, Cody. I don't know if it has gone down. It's only been installed about a month now, so I don't know if it was just because the power bill is less because for 2 weeks we didn't have AC on this side of the house, or it was the fact that it's already working and it runs at so much of a better, less efficient than the old 20-year-old one is, that its prices went down. Like our bill was like $247 this month for power bill, and I was like, damn, that's cheap. So I would like to think it's so much more efficient, but I don't know. Again, now it's starting to get cooler here in Florida that we're not having to run the AC as quite as much, so we're probably going to see it really significantly drop over the next couple months. What's up? Yeah, man, Jeffrey, it's been a while, buddy. It's been a while, man. We're just hanging out here. Hell, Greg Masters is in here. I will tell you though, my phone is almost dead. What am I up to? I have 1% battery, guys. 1%. So we better go ahead and wrap this up right now, because this sucker is going to die on you guys. So guys, I want to thank everybody for coming out. Greg, thank you again for sending this to me. I'm sorry you came in a little late. I really do apologize. I am going to take a picture. I've just got to get the big old A-frame ladder out here and just got to put it right here so I can get up there and take a picture. Because it's about 10 feet up in the air right now is where I have that in my garage, so that I can everybody can see it when we're out here. But I definitely want to say thank you very much for that. I really do appreciate that. Guys, I thank so much for staying with us this evening. 3.5 hours, and we're doing crazy, man. Keep sharing up the channel, guys. Let's keep getting this thing growing. I know I took a break. I needed to. Been in flight school doing all that stuff, being a pilot. And I need to, I'm going to get back onto recording a lot more. I just need more sunny days and more cars to try out products on. So thanks so much for stopping by. I really, really do appreciate it, man. I was in a charity event. Love it. Cool. Greg, I'll be looking forward to seeing that San Francisco footage. If you get some video footage or whatever on your Masters channel, get some footage for that and put that up on there. I think it'd be hilarious. I love it. That is funny that you put it right across the street from them. So that should be a lot of fun. But for the rest of you guys, I'm going to try and put out at least 2 videos this week. So stay tuned on the channel. We'll do a live stream again next Sunday as well, because this Sunday, this weekend, I have to go to Jacksonville, Florida, so I'll be out of town again. But yeah, we'll do it next Sunday again. We can have a nice heart-to-heart chat with you guys and have a lot more fun. So until then, I will see you guys in YouTube land. Thanks again for being a part of my channel. I really love you having you here, and I love to be able to just talk with you guys. It's been a blast. I'll see you guys next week. Take care.